With the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
It's going to be slick driving today after the storm that blew in yesterday. CDOT's Eric Michael says roads are going to be snow-packed and icy, but conditions will improve as the day goes on.
As we progress in the morning and those warmer temperatures come in, we're going to see some of that melt off, and plows are still going to be going throughout the morning and getting a lot of that excess ice off the road, but a lot better position than I think we initially thought we were going to be in.
The weather means a delayed start for a number of COVID-19 community testing sites. Specific times for each site can be found online at covid19.colorado.gov/testing. All patients with appointments are being provided with information about rescheduling. Locations in Metro Denver were forced to close early yesterday because of the snow. Sports, the Denver Nuggets got a buzzer beater to beat the Warriors 117-116 last night in San Francisco. The Avalanche beat the Golden Knights 2-0 last night in Las Vegas. That's the latest. I'm Pat Woodard.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Conditions are improving, but don't let it fool you. You still have icy and snow-packed areas, especially on the bridges, ramps, overpasses, and the side streets and some of the major highways as well. Our latest issue right now, northbound I-25 at University. Police blocking the right lane there with a situation. Northbound I-25 at Park Avenue West, left lane crash. So expect delay in the area.
It's like this rubber flat that just goes.
It is fabulous.
I use it on my deck, and I use it on my, what do you call it, walkway.
Yeah.
The driveway, I got a big tractor for it.
Well, all of my neighbors seem to have huge blowers, and it's like they kind of take turns doing the whole walkway in front of everybody's house. It's really kind of nice.
Yeah.
Especially since if I lift the shovel, I'm going to fall on my back and break it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Is it not too high?
And then today's was kind of light, but it's just going to get heavier and heavier.
It's wet over there. I literally had ice on my vehicle and stuff, so I had to take ice off of it. Because it flows in, it just kind of flows in wet and gets sticks. Nobody else?
I had a cool little as well, and then I can two-stroke. When I lived at the old house in Castle Rock, a little two-stroke snow thrower, and it worked great, but you can't buy them anymore. They got rid of two-stroke engines. But man, they were cheap back in the day.
Two-stroke engines. I love two-stroke engines.
Oh, they're bad. They're hard to break too, man.
They're great engines, but they're too hard to do on cars.
Well, you can't do it.
Because
EPA got rid of them.
And stay connected with all of Denver's talk stations on Twitter.
Mark, if you start telling my this, I'm getting poked, and I'll be right on. It looks like we're going to start.
I'll tell her you're getting poked.
That could go.
The tube is asking for Drew already.
That's back. Enter it now at KHOW.com. Keep listening to it with a $12K a day giveaway.
Bad. The girl this morning had so much trouble. I can't believe it.
He likes it when you kind of move that needle around in there.
I could have fished her out. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome.
And take complaints. And thanks for starting there, Mark. I was just getting poked by Rocky Mountain IV Medics. I told you I really do have my hydration. I have my hydration once a month, and they come right to the studio. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. Okay.com. And by the way, Joan Sullivan's here today from Approval Reverse. We'll get into that. In fact, we have a question for her. Not a question. It's something I brought up yesterday that we really need to get on. Oh, Joan, as it turns out, it wasn't that bad. At first, we thought it was a ripoff, but as we more analyze this, not so much of a ripoff, but I'm going to take her and talk to her. I want people to listen, because if anyone was made for a reverse loan, it's Diane.
I hope the numbers work.
78 years old. Okay, now, no, yeah, there you go, Mark. Okay, plug it in there. Okay, so let's talk. Diane, you said
I'm here.
In 2016, someone who was renting from you agreed to co-sign on a loan to help you out. You took out a loan for around $300,000, roughly a little more, $312,000, in 2016. Now, again, I know you said this woman was dreadful. I want to reserve judgment because I don't think after we analyze this, Diane, that she is that bad, because I think she really helped you. Because since 2016, and even after she stopped renting from you, she was making half the mortgage payment. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, correct. But she was never put on the deed. So all of a sudden, she comes to you and says, hey, Diane, I want to be put on the deed, and she sues you for it. Now, she had invested. What is your monthly payment, dear? What is your monthly payment that she was paying half of? I don't mean the one you were making. I mean the whole payment. Is if she wasn't paying half, what's the whole payment?
It's about 2000.
So she was
23 or something.
So
like that.
She was making about $1,000 a month, roughly, during
right, and me too.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, for about 6 years.
Right.
72 months.
72 months.
$72,000.
So she put in about $72,000 plus was on the thing. Now, granted, the house went up in value and all that, and she benefited from that. But at the same time, if it wasn't for her paying half that payment, and if it wasn't for her helping you, maybe you wouldn't have qualified for a loan. So here's the bottom line. Let's talk about today. What do you do about it today? Because she sued you, and you signed a settlement saying you would pay her $105,000. So basically, you owe about $312 right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Plus, if you have to pay her $105, okay, so we'll add that up, right? We add $312 plus $105, and that'll bring us to a grand total of $417. Now, we want to know, will we be able to get that in a loan for a 78-year-old woman on a reverse loan? No matter what, a reverse loan is going to help you, because you'll never have to make a payment. You're not going to lose your house. You just make your taxes and insurance. Yeah, that's all. And, you keep normal house up to date. I mean, not up to date, but normal repairs. And reverse loans almost always save people's bacon. In fact, a good number of people take out reverse loans. A good number of them take out reverse loans to save themselves from foreclosure or from catastrophe. So, Joan Sullivan, Approval Reverse Mortgage, I'd like to ask you a question. At 78, what approximate percentage are seniors due if they're 78? Approximately what of the equity? Or, loan to value.
So I would say about 55%.
Is that the most, huh?
Yeah,
it never goes.
It and reduced it.
Oh, my goodness. It used to be 60% or more.
Yeah.
So if she gets 55% of value, it's got to be appraising. What will that house appraise for, Diane?
I really don't know, but if you go on different things like different Zillow and all those different ones.
Right.
It's around 650 to 7.
Because Zillow's a little low. I'd like it. I found it a little low, Mark. I don't know about you, but as far as actual sales, now I want Frank Duran, the real estate man, to do a valuation. Of course, that's not going to be an appraisal, but he'll give us a pretty damn good idea what he thinks.
Okay.
I don't know. So, Joan, the most. Okay, let's just say it's 700. If it's 700,000, Joan, the most she'll get is 55%. So that's 385. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a little short of her target.
Right. of what she needs to pay.
And she can't take a second or anything. That's it.
No. So the $105,000, is that a lien against the property?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Now.
No, it's just what.
So
now that $312 that you owe, you might have a little less on the actual payoff.
Actually, that could be a lien. That could be.
Well, whether it is or not, what we have to figure out is, would this woman take a substantial part? Like that $312, guys, if that's the balance, isn't there a reduction when you pay it off immediately, or is that?
No.
No, what I mean is,
I don't think
are you figuring the okay.
The $312 is what she owes the bank.
Today.
Yes.
All right. So, and you're pretty sure on that $312?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's without the $105,000.
Well, I understand. So, that would leave only $73,000 or so, maybe $70,000 to pay her when you think of costs. I mean, so $70,000 to pay her. She
got to downsize.
No, she doesn't want to lose her home. We got to figure something out. I mean, if this woman would take $70,000, I
think she already signed a deal. They had attorneys involved.
But here's the deal. Okay. Guess what? If they sell the house,
she can force the sale and get her full 105 because she's on the deed. It doesn't matter.
Mark. First of all, if she forces the sale, she doesn't go ahead of the first, so it doesn't matter what she has. That first is $312, so no matter what she gets, they have to sell it.
That's right, but we know they're going to get $650 to $700, which would make that lady very whole. Then you get attorney's fees.
You're right. They don't care about her equity as long as she gets her 105.
Yeah, they could care less, man.
So if they force the sale, Joan, what are you thinking? I mean, can't.
Diane, are you sure that she has a lien on your house for $105,000?
I don't know.
We have to do an O&E. Let's get Frank to do an O&E on this house. Let's just figure out where you stand, Diane. Hold on.
She makes, by the way, she takes in $900 a month on Social Security. So beyond what we've already factored in, would she even qualify at that point?
What income qualification is there for a reverse loan? I thought it was mostly equity and just enough to pay taxes and insurance.
So the way that they determine it's residual income. So I'd have to look at her income minus her liabilities, and she'd need to have about $589 left over.
She's not going to have that.
But we can use. If there's a lien for $312,000, the lender is not going to look at the other $105,000 except for what that payment would be.
Yeah.
And so there's a possibility she would qualify because there may be some money left over in the line of credit, and then the reverse mortgage lender will dissipate that as an
first job.
So,
Suze, let's see if Frankie will do an O&E on her home, get the address and all that. Then Diane, once we do the O&E, then we'll let Joan Sullivan take a serious look at this.
Yeah.
And then after that, and this is no charge to you, the worst case scenario I'm thinking, if this woman can't qualify, is to try to find someone, an angel, honest to God, to do a life estate for this woman. You know, life estates are not terrible things. A life estate is where you just give her the money, let her live there the rest of her life, and then you get the house. And there are people young enough that would be willing to. At my age, it's not necessarily a good idea. I mean, she could outlive me. And I don't mean that as a harsh thing. I mean, you know, a younger person could do a life estate, and that's a very good possibility. Because
they wouldn't work. You couldn't do that with a reverse mortgage. You're saying someone steps in with $400.
Yeah, of course. But if the house is worth $7 now, you're immediately in a positive position as far as and then your return is the house. Now you have to project. You hope Diana will live forever, but at the same time, a life estate.
I would personally.
What a life estate does is puts all the eggs in the house, and they say to Diane, "It's your home, Diane," and a beneficiary deed goes to the lender, and then when she dies, it goes to the lender, and there's no obligation while she's alive. That would be, if we can't get a reverse loan, we would want somebody young enough who has the money, who doesn't need it right away, and would be willing to do a life estate. Now, like I said, these are not uncommon. People do them.
I know. I looked into the ones with life insurance. I personally could never invest waiting for someone to die.
No, it's a weird feeling, because what you're doing is you're thinking, well, the longer they live, the less return I get, but not necessarily, because the house still appreciates, right? Now, Diane, you know what we're talking about, right? A life estate?
I have never heard of it before.
Well, what it is somebody would pay off everything for you in that. It's like a reverse loan, really, except with a reverse loan, there's money left over. With a life estate, what they say is this: Diane, I'm going to pay off that 105. If I was a younger man, I would consider it. I'm going to pay the 312. I'm going to pay the 105. I'm going to. All you have to do is pay your taxes and insurance, live there the rest of your life. You don't have to make a payment, but when you die, the house goes to the lender. And I mean, it's a great thing for some people, right? I mean, you don't want to leave your home and you don't have money to support it. So it may be a great thing for you, and it may be a great thing for someone in their 40s, 30s, 40s, or whatever, who can loan that money, or parents who want to do it for their kids. You understand what I'm saying, Diane?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not for the faint of heart, but it is definitely a possibility. I mean, it's either that or you sell. Here's your choice. If you don't do that, Diane, either a reverse loan or a life estate, you then end up having to sell your home to pay off that lien. She can force you to sell it.
Yeah, I know that.
And you don't want to leave. How long you been in that home, Diane?
25 years.
How?
25 years.
You don't want to leave, do you?
No.
How do you mow the lawn and everything like that?
Well, I don't have a lawn. I just have rocks.
All right. You just hold on, Diane, okay? I have to take this break. I really do.
There are lots of places to get national news, but for the local stories that affect you most, count on Newsbreak.
Their own kids.
Their own kids.
Yeah, that's a
whole.
but
I've seen. And then put the house in a life state.
You know, I've seen people do it for strangers.
I don't want my brain in the position
for opportunity, like an old lady in the neighborhood.
You're sounding like it's a
No, it's not. Of course, it's
No,
not.
I'm saying my thoughts. I would not like it.
It's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
I would never want the thought.
Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Frank Duran. What is Frank? Frank is a great guy who will do a market valuation of your home for the asking. That's right. You know, we're talking about, hey, how much is that house worth? Frank Duran can tell you free. By the way, he's also a great guy to list your home with. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. He's a master negotiator and in the top 1% of all real estate producers in Colorado. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. What do you get when you go to simplyfloorsinc.com? You get great people. First, Buddy and Karen Mitchell are floor covering experts. What I mean by that is they know what kinds of floors they have and what you need, and they'll try to match you. They have all kinds of carpets, all kinds of price ranges. They have LVT, they have hardwoods and laminates and engineered floors. And here's the bottom line. When it comes to them at Simply Floors Inc., not only do you get the best prices, you get the best installers, and you get design help free. They do a design coordinator to help you coordinate your entire project. SimplyFloorsInc.com. You make your own appointment at SimplyFloorsInc.com.
As we age, we can't always plan on good health, but you can.
I don't think it's morbid by any means. It's just aimed for men. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I worry about the condition of the
Tell her, don't you?
I worry about a ton of different things.
Yeah.
What do you mean, as far as life estate?
I worry about everything. She turns 92 and the place is caught on fire. I mean, the yard goes to hell. The HOA's after
It's insured. I mean, you know, obviously you look into that kind of shit. It's insured. I mean,
But there are people who do it, and
that lady could. Well, I know a young man who did it for a neighbor because he liked her.
I can't believe she let this thing get to the point that she owes her renter $100,000.
Hey, yeah, but that renter paid $70,000.
Who cares? $1,000 a month is cheap for rent in Denver.
No, that's in addition.
If you're looking at $1,000 a month for 72 months, that's 72,000, but it's cheap.
She's saying, was that 1,000 in addition to the rent, or was that the rent? Because that's cheap.
No, that was that woman that lived with her made out like the woman we're talking to made out like a bandit.
Well, she did. Joan, listen, that woman didn't live with her the whole time. She moved out in like 16 or 17 right away. She moved out.
No, I don't think so.
She's still living with her? No, I don't think so.
We got to ask her. I think she lived there for a long time now.
Did she hang up yet? Good. I need to talk to her one more time.
And here's a reality. She can get half that equity if she wants it. She's only asking for 105.
Well, we don't know what she could have gotten.
No.
In fact, I'm not so sure she could have gotten. I'm not so sure her fucking attorney did her right, because for her to write a settlement, I don't know, Mark. If she wasn't on the deed, what is she claiming? She should have been? Well, fuck you.
Not only is she on the deed, she's on the loan. They had to refi and get her out of debt. The only reason she's on is because she couldn't qualify and she was in the rear.
I mean, that is true. That woman helped her. That woman did help her.
Yeah, I'm coming in at the 11th hour. I have no idea.
Here's the deal. On the loan, on the loan, how much is owed? 312, right? That woman is responsible for half that loan. Or actually, she's responsible for the whole loan.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
And she's only asking for 105. And if she said everything right, that woman's pumped $75,000 into payments on that loan and paid zero for living there. Oh, great.
Well, your YouTubers were wondering where he was, if he was here with us today.
Oh, did you look at the new deal Howard has, Mark?
I just left him. Is he on?
Yeah.
Is he on this?
Yeah, he's on.
Oh, would you ask him how much did he pay just when he comes up? He knows nothing. I've never met anybody that knew nothing.
He's such a good guy.
He is a great guy, but God, he's signing shit left and right. Just at face value, this looks like another horrible deal. No, I gotta ask him.
Do they want more money from him?
Here's what I need.
What do they want from him? I have his numbers. I put them on here. What do you need from him?
I want to know how much he put down on the 2016 cash.
Okay.
And how much did he
$10,000 plus a trade-in equity of $1,700. $10,000 plus $1,700.
How much does he have in the 60? That's probably the better way to put it.
Oh, well, okay.
How much is
there was a $30,000 loan.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. A $10,000 down payment and a $1,700 trade equity.
So 57.
Yeah. 30 plus 10 is 40 plus 1,700.
Not just making our mark, but making
1,700?
Yes.
Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts. Preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
All right, you're back in.
Martino here. RealCBDThatWorks.com. You can get right now any CBD product for 30% off when you use Tom in the promo code. That's RealCBDThatWorks.com. It's Panacea Life Sciences. They have an antiviral formula. You really have to read about it. It's astounding. And we're not saying it's a cure or a substitution for anything, but it really does work with inhibiting viruses. Also, cosmetic line with anti-inflammatory properties. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Put Tom in the promo code. Diane, one quick question we had, and we're going to have Frank do an evaluation of your home, and we're going to try to get you some help. I need to know, how long did that woman live with you?
Well, she was renting for about 6 months before she went on the loan.
After she went on a loan, how long did she live there?
Oh, she's still here.
Oh, my God, she's still there. Okay. Yeah. But she's not. When I said she's paying half the payment, but that's her rent, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah. But she didn't pay in addition to that. So she got a deal because she's being reimbursed all her rent. So I'm going back and forth. Yes, Suze.
Frank Duran is going to run an O&E right now.
Good. Now, Diane, another question. And then ask him his opinion on it, too, on that house, if he can look it up.
Yeah, just what is...
Ask Frank if he can look that house up on Google Maps or something, or whatever, Street View, and see if he can give us a rough idea of what houses like that are selling for. Now, here's what I want to know, Diane. She's still there. Do you guys talk?
Not much.
Is she mean?
She's... Yeah, I feel that she is. Because she doesn't.
My God, she's loaned her $80,000 over 6-7 years at basically 0% interest.
No, she lived there, Mark. She lived there. She got something of value. You got to net it out. She lived there.
How about everything else that goes with the house?
Okay, what I'm saying is, Mark, she signed on the loan and continued to pay rent. That's really what she did. I mean, $1,000 a month is cheap rent for half a house.
Yeah.
I just don't see her as
I did not say she's a bad person, but you can't say she loaned her all of that money if part of it...
I can't say if it wasn't for her, this woman wouldn't be in that house right now.
But she didn't loan her the money. She paid rent to the woman. She paid $1,000 a month rent.
She put her neck out there.
Yes, she did. She's on the loan. You're absolutely right. She's on the loan. That I can't, So I never said she was a bad person. What I said was I don't think she took advantage of you as much as you thought, but I think it was a sweet deal for both of you. I think you both benefited from this, as well you should. But right now, you see, you really just postponed the trouble you had back then. You could have done a reverse. You could have done a reverse loan back then, and you probably would have been in better shape. Now you got an extra $100,000 you got to pay off. If you had done it back then, you wouldn't have anything you have to pay off. So just, Suze, you can get Diane's information so we can get back in touch with her and all that stuff. Now, Howard, oh my God, Howard went to Gent Motors in Greeley and bought a truck. Now, I'm hoping he remembers the exact numbers. I don't know. Howard, that very first truck you got into, the 2013, you put $10,000 down, right?
That is correct. And
you had a $1,500 net positive, right, for the trade?
Yes.
That's a total of 11.5. I'm sorry, Mark, I said 17. 11.5. Then you had a $30,000 loan on the 2013. Is that right?
Correct.
So you were into that 2013 for $41,500. Yes. I mean,
pretty much, but they said 30. It was more like 30.
No, it wasn't 30. If you had a $30,000 loan and you put $10,000 cash down plus traded in $1,500, your basis in that truck was $41,500. When they said you had 30 into it, what they mean is you owed 30 on it. You weren't into it for 30. Did you forget about your $10,000 down payment?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Now, Howard,
I got you.
Does money come easy to you? No, I'm asking.
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you forget about the $10,000 you put down way back when?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so now when you took the new truck that they took, not this most recent, but then when that one blew up, when you went to the other truck, did you put any more money down in cash?
No.
Okay.
They did ask, but I didn't.
Okay, and did you do any other trade? You traded in that truck. Okay, you came out of there with a whatchamacallit? You came with
2016 Sierra.
Yeah, but you had a loan for how much? What's the loan now?
That one was for 54.
Don't say was. You didn't do this new deal yet. You said you were going to let us look it over first. Did you do it already?
Oh, no, I haven't signed anything, but he said he killed both those other loans.
Okay, so he's saying, just what I need to know. So you came out of the second deal with a $54,000 loan, but no more money into it, right?
Correct.
Okay, so and that truck was a 2016, right?
Correct.
And that was a Sierra?
Yep.
Okay, now, that's a Chevy, right? Chevy Sierra?
GMC.
Oh, GMC, yeah. Okay, so hold on. So now, right now...
Hold on, though. As of yesterday, unless if, I'm missing something big, he was paying on both loans.
No, but they were going to pay... Mark, they had always meant to pay off that 30, okay? Let's just say that was a bookkeeping mistake. But bottom line is this. What is his basis in the 2016? He has a loan for $54,000. He paid $10,000 originally, so he's now into that for $65,500. So now his basis in the new truck is $65,500. So that's how much you paid for the 2016. So I want to know the new deal Mark is looking at. Is it truly a deal, or are they effing you? We're going to come back and figure it out.
Okay, I'm wondering, I may not do the NAD this time.
Dan Callis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Yeah, I don't know what that woman's going to do, though.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress
Listen,
Firm.
so now the new deal, knowing these numbers, what does it say to get the new deal? He's not putting any money into it. They've extinguished the loans, he said. So what is the new loan?
Long as that other one's paid off.
The other two.
The other two.
Then what does he owe?
61.
It's $61,000. So he's being to this truck, whatever it is, for $72,500. The new truck.
If they don't, well, I'm sure they're going to sell them a warranty or whatever as well.
Well, let's see. On new truck, what is it in that?
This is just like a typed up buyer's order.
It's a 2022.
This ain't the agreement.
Is it a 2022?
Yes, it is.
Shop now and get a
Brandon.
kit for a clean ride.
And so the deal, there's no deal there. Hold on. There's no actual deal there. You said, well, how'd you know the loan?
Let's talk about getting a scan that can save your life. It's called Core Scans. Now, I put my name behind this after I had one done, showed some soft plaque. Now, I don't want to get into the personal thing except to tell you it was alarming, and I had it dealt with, and you can reverse it. Mine's being reversed. Some people are literally on the brink of death. I mean, they have so much, they could have a stroke or heart attack at any time. Others have various amounts of danger. We have documented cases where people have had their lives saved by this core scan. But here's the best news. Once you find out for $189 if you have soft plaque, that's what it looks for. Not a calcium score, which is BS. It looks for soft plaque. That's it. Once you find out if you have it, then you can do the treatment, and insurance covers that. Give them a call, $189, 720-740-2663, 720-740-2663. I'm telling everyone I know about it. Corescans.com, without the E, corescans.com.
Sure, Ideal is 30. Ideal Home
Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. It is a loan company that is ideal, and why do I say it? Because they look for the best deal for you. You see, all of the loan officers are salaried, so they're not commissioned by getting you big loans at higher rates. If you want the best loan, you go to someone who has your best interest at heart. First they listen, then they lend at Ideal Home Loans. They can help you get cash out to pay off high interest debt and using the new low rates, or you get the interest rate guarantee on every loan, so if rates go down even further, they refinance you free of charge. They can also help you because you pick your own term. You don't have to go back to 15 or 30. Whatever it is you need, they customize a loan for you. 303-867-7000. And, of course, providing you have good credit, but they even do credit optimization on good credit to make it even better, to get better pricing. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
So the car market's come down. You need to sell your car before the end of August if you want to sell it for this crazy high money. Give me the VIN.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. Give me the VIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Tune in. They're selling it to him for $60,773.
$60,773, and the loan he walks out with is that
The loan, no, they're charging them dealer handling and all that shit for the third time. And it is $61,479.
Okay, so if it's $61,479, remember he still has 10, he still has 11.5.
Yeah.
So okay, so as long as he knows it,
No, you're still missing a big part.
what is that, Mark?
You can buy that fucking pickup for $41,000.
Well, of course, but I'm not missing anything when I say what his basis is. We're not missing anything. His basis is exactly
Yeah, but
what I
you
said.
can go buy that at John Elway today for $41,000.
No, I get it. Oh, no, I get it. He's fucked again.
Yeah, so it's what are you going to do?
Well, this guy has a sign "fuck me" all over him. Every time he opens his mouth, you can tell he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he'll be into that truck. Oh shit! So I just want to tell him what.
And you want to know the MSRP?
What?
$41,000.
You got more cash in closing.
Yeah, I can't keep up now. So
99 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market.
Okay, so he's into that new truck for $72,979.
almost double.
What a payment that is.
If you're thinking about selling, or just curious what Orchard will pay for your home,
$72,979. That motherfucker's into that truck for.
That's Orchard.com. Inflation just broke a nearly 40-year record thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, and every second...
Think of the tax he's paying on that, too.
Well, he pays on the... I don't know how they're going to write it up, but he would pay
Well,
on the
yeah, they'll offset the other two. Well, my guess is he'll sign wherever, and then now he's going to have 3 car payments. So that's where my brain goes.
Well, okay, we're obviously going to make sure they extinguish those other 2 loans. But still, even if they do, okay, he was so fucked anyway that this is a way to get out of it. At least he has a new truck, Mark. But you're right, he paid twice as much for that truck.
Here's what kills him. Vehicle gets stolen. He is so fucked, he can never buy another car.
With Gap, he gets 125% of value.
Yeah, he's gonna have to come to the table with, well, his whole loan. I mean, he's gonna be so fucked if he gets.
You know what?
He
I was all ready to call him a dumb fucking all that until I saw him sitting there.
Yeah,
he's a truck driver.
No, he's a great guy. He shouldn't be allowed to buy vehicles.
There are people in this world that trust everyone, and you forget they exist. You forget it, and you think that can't possibly be. That can't possibly. Because I was gonna have fun with his name, but I couldn't do it, man. That guy was just too nice, right, Mark? And even you, who likes to come down on people, you wouldn't do it. Didn't you figure? Wasn't he salt of the earth kind of guy?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, Howard, we analyze the numbers. Here's the bottom line, okay? I love going to the bottom line. It appears that they're doing you a favor by selling you a new 2022 truck. And you're going to walk out of there with a loan of $61,479. And don't forget, you originally put $10,000 down, and you originally had a $1,500 net trade, which means your new basis into the 2022 GMC Sierra. No, not GMC Sierra. What's the new one?
2022 Silverado RST.
Chevy Silverado. Let me tell you. Now, I want to know what they sell for, Mark. He just said a Chevy Silverado what?
RS Rally Sport truck.
And is it loaded?
It's pretty loaded. It's not got everything, but it's pretty loaded.
Now,
it's got all the tow package and all that.
All right, hold on. That 2022 Chevy Silverado, they're sending you out the door with $61,479 owed. You paid $10,000 plus had a $1,500 net trade. And if you take all the smoke and mirrors away, the essence of this deal is they are selling you that truck for $72,979. That's what you paid for the 2022 Chevy Silverado. Now, my question is that overpaying, Mark, for a 2022? I don't think you can buy that truck for, how much do you think you buy it for? I don't know.
Well, they range brand new ones from John Elway range from $41,000 total sale price.
Are you sure?
Yes. And, I mean, they go up from there. I don't
What's the highest one?
Well, the highest one, I mean...
I want to know. I mean, what? Maybe he has a bunch of crap on there.
Hold on, I'm looking, man.
Send us this... Oh, no.
Well, here's one for, like, $66,000.
What's that, Howard?
I sent you a picture of the truck along with the email.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Howard. What was the MSRP on that truck? It's right on the window. It better be. What's the MSRP? Just that's because even if we go above MSRP, we'll know if you're getting screwed. How much is the MSRP?
And they don't put it on their order like everything I've ever seen in my life.
What's the MSRP?
I honestly don't know.
All right,
there was no sticker on the window.
Howard, if there wasn't a sticker, they broke the law. Is this a new truck? How many miles on this truck?
It had like 60 miles.
Okay, then it has to have a Maroney sticker on it, or they're breaking the law.
I think it was in the glove box. Come think of it, but I never actually laid eyes on it.
That's what we need
MSRP is $45,600. I just found it right on Chevy's site. A 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 LTD RST.
Is it an LTD RST?
Yes, I'm looking. That's what they have on here.
Okay, so what is the MSRP, Mark?
$44,600.
Okay, so they're charging you basically almost double.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Well, they're building in all the negative equity he already gave them.
So here's the thing. They so bent you over and screwed you so hard that it's hard for you to get away from there without injury.
I bet he has trouble walking.
It's really hard to get away without injury. So the question is, do you keep the truck you have, the 2016, and say, look, I got screwed, or do you go another another 7 into debt and get a brand new truck?
Well, in his case, you have to get the new one because the first one that Gent sold him blew up in 3 weeks.
And the
Who
second
knows
one,
what the second one's going to do?
No, one thing I do know, he'll be more buried in the second one than the third one.
These guys, man, they're
they didn't do you any favors. Now listen. Here's the deal.
They sold him the original.
Are you positive?
Blew up in 3 weeks. How come he didn't just put the engine in there with the warranty that he's bought? If he buys a warranty again, he has bought 3 warranties.
Now, are there any warranties in it? You don't want anything at all with this truck, but it doesn't matter. They've already overpriced it. You know, will anyone? Where are you now? Are you up at Ghent right now?
No, I was actually pulled off the road. I was on my way up there. I was waiting to hear back from you guys.
Go up there, grab the sales manager, and put him on the phone with us.
No, when you go up there, say, we would love to talk to him. And by the way, I don't want to crucify the guy, but you have to know where you stand, Howard. That you tell them, by my figures, just what you tell them, by my figures, if I have a $61,000, basically it's $479, say $61,500 loan, basically, plus I put a $10,000 originally down and a $1,500 net trade, which, by the way, they stole from you, but you should have gotten more than that. But if you consider that money, you're buying this new truck for $72,900. You tell them that all day long the MSRP is $44,600. Well, so they should lower that loan.
When did you buy that first truck? Just roughly. What month, man?
It was December 31st.
Oh, my God. So December, he buys one. 3 weeks later, it blows up. He goes back to Ghent. They do a trade-in, which they still haven't paid off, by the way. 2 months later, they stick him with the 2016. Now they're putting him in this. If he just walked in to John Elway, for example, or any other dealership that has any form of morals whatsoever, he would have left with a loan for $36,000 and a brand new truck. Now he owes $72,000.
No, you're right, Mark. You're right, Mark. You're right.
Ghent, you suck, in my opinion.
Not just suck. They're terrible people because they're making it sound like they're doing you a favor. And I'd like you to say to them, really.
This guy was bringing them cookies today.
Howard, I want you to talk to someone there and say, Martina would love to talk to you, and say, listen, you can even call me a nut. Say, listen, I went to him and he went crazy, and he says he's going to dedicate the rest of his life to putting you out of business because he says this is a bad deal. Now I want to talk to someone again. Damn it, someone needs to talk to us, okay? Call us.
How many payments did you make, by the way, on any of these so far? Any payments at all?
Okay, Howard, did you make any payments? Huh?
Nope.
Okay, good. All right, go up to Ghent. I want to talk to someone. Meanwhile, people, you know what I think you should do? You should call Ghent and say, why did you bend Howard over, and why did you screw him blind? That's right, because we have the numbers. Numbers do not lie. They bent him over, screwed him blind. Now they're giving him flowers and calling it a date. Listen, here's what I want you to do.
He's not going to be able to crap right.
Give me his damn, their number up at Ghent. Give me that number. I want Ghent up in Greeley, the lying scumbags. God,
Why are they all there, too?
You know what? I don't understand why. I swear to God, I don't understand why Greeley has so many bad cars. Here's Ghent.
Thunderdome.
Wait. Here's Ghent. Oh, I got it. I got the number. Ghent. And it's a Chevrolet Cadillac dealer in Greeley. And the number is 970-673-7952. This will go down in history as one of the biggest screw jobs that ever happened. There was another one years ago.
The Cadillac.
Massey, that's right.
That's
that little old.
That's this borderline Zat.
That little old lady bought that $16,000 car for $32,000.
Advertised
for $16,000.
Can you believe it?
Sold it to her for $32,000. We got more coming up.
Mark Massey.
Can you believe this asshole, though? These jerks over there. He should have a $35,000, $36,000 loan.
Mark, okay, he has to take some responsibility for what he did.
Well, yeah.
So if
it doesn't make them any better.
If they lower that loan just a bit, for example, yes, if they loan, let's say, by $20,000,
they're not doing it.
They're making so much money on this guy, they could easily do it. What's really funny is Ghent thought I don't have it.
No,
they thought they were Mark. They thought they were fooling us because they said, "Oh, he's going to get."
Oh, do I have it?
Yeah,
I might have it in here. I don't know if it's that one or a different row.
I think you got it. No.
You know when you pay.
No.
I got it plugged in.
Negative equity. No, he had positive 1,500 on that trade. So
I got this, but I think that was.
I would have because this guy. You know what? That is a really good point. I want to ask him. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. He is our
estate planning expert. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. If you call him, he'll answer your estate planning questions free of charge. You know, if you haven't looked at your estate plan in a while, you maybe need an update. Maybe you just need a will. Maybe you need a will and a trust. Or maybe you simply need a beneficiary's deed, a payable on death certificate, whatever it is. Blake will quote you flat rates for what he does for you, but no charge for the answers to your questions. 833-ASK-BLAKE. The Art of Granite, they do countertops of all kinds. The name says granite, but they do granite, and they do any other natural stone or man-made material, and they charge wholesale on materials. Then they don't charge for tear out and haul away. They don't charge for the bathroom vanity when you do the kitchen. So theartofgranite.com simply charges a reasonable price for fabrication and installation, which means you can get a price on the phone. Call them. Describe your job. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919.
Everybody out there, this is...
Oh, God.
Ken,
man. Now, just wait a couple minutes. I want to talk to you.
I'd love to talk to that salesman.
That's really appreciate it. This is for us. Oh, you didn't put it there? I thought you brought them along for people who do the hydration. You give them a cookie. Where'd these come from?
They've been sitting there as long as I've been sitting here.
Like 6 years.
Today. No, just today.
Probably Brown left in there.
Yeah.
So, this card sucks. When's the last time you bought a car?
And then we're talking about how the dealers are bumping up the price because of the chip issue.
You have it, so.
Oh, they just have no limit.
Hey, he has a Prius. He's had 6
like
years. How much is it going to cost to change those batteries in about 4
Well,
years?
like on Elway's site, it's like 500 over MSRP.
Yeah.
It is so weird seeing MSRP $39.9, price 40. It's so bizarre. 40,500 years ago.
And the car manufacturers are
Hey,
really
Mark,
starting to kick up.
he has a Prius, 6 years old. So when will those batteries go?
I got 2010. They're probably. I've had it for 6 years. Oh, they're about 10-year life cycle.
Well, he's over that now.
Yeah. Well, what you don't notice though is
when
the
it stops
electricity
working.
loss.
Yeah. Like, did your official? What are you getting on miles?
Health and wellness, modern medicine, or personal hygiene. Actually,
You need to just start looking for battery packs. They sell them. Don't buy them from Toyota. You just go to like Firestone, any of the people that you know. Al does them at Pro Auto.
Hey, I wonder what
Sheridan does them.
I wonder what batteries plus is going to start selling.
Bacteria
You could probably call them and ask them for it, and ask them to order for you. They will pretty much order anything you call them and tell them you need.
When I was looking, I saw some like 06, 6 years ago when I was looking, 5 or 6 years ago, I looked at 06s, there were about 6 grand.
And then out the other nostril,
Some had new batteries, some didn't. And I found it for 2010,
sleep
100,000 less miles,
and stay healthier. Join over 2 million to find out for yourself how
They're hybrids, right?
Yeah. $2,500, I could get another 4
That's
years.
why you don't know
4 years,
batteries
100,000 miles.
That you don't. That's the whole problem.
Your mileage goes down.
Hey babe, I sent you those pictures again. I don't know why it went on like that. And then
Oh, Drew hung up.
yes.
What did he want to
Drew, call back.
What did he want to talk about?
His 17-year-old case. Hey, line one, I don't know if you could take him real quick. He got a core scan last week.
Legit too.
And I said to him, call us back, let us know how it went.
He sucked Martino in like usual. And then after we have him on hold, Suzanne Drew.
Do you need anything?
It happened 17 years ago. That was the best. You got sucked into that. 17 years. Drew didn't even say that. He acted like it happened Wednesday.
But still,
It's still sneezing about it.
17 years ago. And he wants an attorney pro bono that'll go after him.
He sent us a note from his doctor that says he's not crazy.
No, his doctor literally, he sent us a letter from his psychiatrist.
The first 100 reasons? And he's got a psychiatrist.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a psychiatrist.
Not only that, in the letter, the guy has been a psychiatrist for, what was it, since like 06.
Reason 103.
I get a new guy.
You got to get a new guy or realize that you've got a couch potato that guy sits there.
How long do you give a straight time? Don't you think 17 years you should be fixed?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Okay, listen, I want to talk to Rocky Mountain IV Medics. And, hey, Suze, you had your hydration therapy. Good. And I had mine. I want to ask you something, man. You do people who have COVID, right?
We do.
I mean, yeah. Is the mic working over here, bro? Is that mic working? I don't hear him. Well, it was yesterday, but okay. Just go ahead, turn that on, Joan, where you are.
He's got to turn it on.
I want to ask you something. As far as you don't need to. That's the one. Okay. As far as COVID, you do those testings at home too, right? Don't you?
We do. We have at-home testing. We do.
How many positives are coming? Are they way less now?
I haven't done a whole lot of testing in the last 2 weeks, so I haven't seen a lot of positives. But for a while there was,
a ton
over Christmas and January.
Now, why people get hydration therapy when they're not feeling good? Why? What is the main reason?
It's going to help them feel better. It's going to help their body get through whatever it is they're fighting.
Now, I do it for no reason, but I guess people have reasons. Do you ever get people with hangovers?
Oh yeah, and I'd say.
Is that a myth, or does it help a hangover?
It does. Absolutely helps a hangover.
Sounds personal to me.
It kind of does. No, it will help a hangover. Some of the glutathione, the antioxidants, and that we put in there will help take out some of the toxins that you get Also, just general hydration when you're
for sure.
Your body is dehydrated, and that's kind of what
you ever liquor people up with that thing?
Oh, hey, by the way, that would kill someone. That would kill someone. Oh man,
that would be extremely.
That would kill. Man, did you think of that? Okay, listen. By the way, Rocky Mountain IV Medics. Now, about what? Can they get a same hour appointment, or maybe a couple hours? What?
Usually we try to get to them within. Hopefully within an hour or two.
Wow.
But it depends on the day. Sometimes, if it's really busy.
So they can call or text. It goes to a dispatch, and then they go out like an Uber and find out which medic or nurse or EMT, right? You all have...
We either have to be either nurses or paramedics.
Okay.
And we will generally dispatch you to the closest one.
Okay, good.
The closest one that's available, so hopefully we can get there within at least a couple hours.
Here's the number. 720-987 2155, 720-987-2155. Where's the strangest place you guys have gone? Any of you?
Truck
stops, I know.
Truck stops, parking lots. A few people in Wyoming will come down and meet people in a parking lot. Yeah, in a parking lot or rest area. Because they don't offer it up in that state yet. But
have you ever had people visiting in a hotel room?
Wait.
All the time.
What he just said something I find interesting. Why don't you can't get it in Wyoming?
I don't know if they're doing. I don't know of any companies that are doing that in Wyoming yet.
But you can legally do it.
Yeah, probably for sure.
Could. Yeah. But they.
Right.
Now they'll come down from the border and.
Thank you, man. And speaking of some medical stuff, Roger got core scan done. Roger, you were calling with results. I remember you saying you were going to go get it. How did it turn out?
Yes, hey Tom.
Hey.
So mine came back, it says, was good but not ideal.
Well, yeah, but that may mean just a tiny bit because those guys are perfectionists.
Yeah.
Like what was your arterial age compared to your age?
Well, I'm going to be 61 in March and my arterial age is 65.
Yeah, so that is minor, but that's also takes minor treatment, which is covered by insurance as well. But that's good though. You're in good shape. You must not have a lot of that heart disease in your family. I'm Tom Martino for Have you ever had it done, Joan?
Through iScan, but not.
That's not the same though. That's a calcium score, right?
Okay, yeah.
Why the fuck do they do calcium scores? Calcium is already not a danger.
Hey, Howard.
So how do they get it out?
Make sure when you get there before you get the sales manager or anything,
it's a shot every 2 weeks.
Get a picture of that MSRP. I want to see that MSRP.
Repatha is one of them.
Huh.
Yeah, and it reverses it.
Yeah.
Now,
George is 90%.
Now, what?
My husband.
Just walk in there and just act like everything's cool.
Oh my God, it saved lives. Now listen, they have done surgeries
and then call us back
really bad so they don't get strokes, right? Is he having symptoms?
He's just starting to have some dementia.
Do you know that it can take away that? It opens up your blood vessel. If I was him, I'd do chelation and I would do Repatha. And he should see a good doctor. Is he seeing a good doctor?
Kaiser.
They don't know what
they have some good doctors.
but they don't know what to do. They don't. Not for prevention. They don't. They don't know anything about
it. So who do you recommend?
Grossman.
Okay.
I go to Grossman. I pay $300 a month for the what you call care, the concierge.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. Now you can go and be covered by insurance with you got to submit it to Medicare and stuff. But there's Dr. Boone, Boone Heart Institute, or Dr. Grossman. No, I'm really serious, Joan. That's really bad. If he's starting to get some demand, this is a fucking miracle drug. Now, let me just tell you something. This drug is $600 a dose, or maybe $400 a dose, but my insurance covers every penny. Well, not every penny, but
most of it. Yeah. So, I'll look into it for him. Yeah, because he's really starting to drift.
The federal government will invest $1 billion from its infrastructure law.
Wait, you stay healthy. Is he your age?
No, he's 85.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, so he's a lot older.
Oh,
yeah.
Supreme Court decision.
But
Dr. Boone's dad was 90 and he started reversing fucking senility.
Highly debated in Florida, and this bill mirrors Mississippi's ban, which
Is he in good spirits?
Oh, yeah, he is, which is a blessing.
Protesters charging in, speaking out against the measure. The GOP-controlled House advancing the bill, which limits abortions after 15 weeks.
This issue is about protecting human lives.
Democrats
Bathroom
are
too.
able to get exceptions for pregnancies caused by rape, incest, or human trafficking, but there are exceptions if it's necessary to save the mother's life, to prevent serious injury, or if the fetus has an abnormality. Lionel Moyes, ABC News.
Mardi Gras season is back. The month-long celebration in New Orleans has been on hiatus for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. Negotiations continue to figure out a deal to end the Major League Baseball lockout. Spring training workouts were supposed to start yesterday. Trevor Alt, ABC News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
Ah, man.
It was
But what?
issues.
I'm still thinking of that truck. So he's into that one truck after trade and everything for, I want to say 57. He owns 57 on the loan. What is that truck worth? If we knew what that truck was worth, let's just say it's worth 30. So he can sell it for 30. That brings down 27. And then if he went and bought it from a normal dealer, I don't think you should deal with these guys.
EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer.
They're horrible people, man. In my opinion, they're just the worst.
And schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask if I have EPI.
Sponsored by AbbVie.
K-How News Time, 11:03.
They fucking sold this guy double MSRP. And you know what? We got to see those deals again. I want to know how much he spent on those fucking warranties. I'm calling him. That's another thing we're totally fucking forgetting. This deal's way worse than what we're thinking, man. Where's this guy? Second COVID-19 testing site for travelers is now open at Denver International Airport. It's located at the southwest end of the 5, a terminal between the Golden Beer Townhouse and Hudson News. The airport CEO says what was his name again? Anybody remember?
The guy Howard.
Howard, yeah.
Hey,
Howard. Howard.
By Flying Stir.
Hey, how much did you spend on warranties and other stuff, service plans, on those first two vehicles? Can you look at your paperwork and give me that number?
South towards Arapahoe Road, and crews are on scene doing some repair work. The two left lanes are blocked on southbound I-25 approaching Arapahoe Road. Fox 31 pinpoint weather.
How about on the 16th?
Today, and it'll be warmer for Friday and the weekend with temperatures in the 50s.
Okay, so you only bought one warranty.
Until next week, Monday.
Okay, perfect. Bye. Well, if you have the paperwork, look and let me know. Do you have it there?
Spa Palace is proud
Okay. Well, let me know before you walk in there. You can just text me at this number.
Committed to customer service and community involvement have earned them this prestigious.
I think they sold them 2 warranties.
Spa Palace, the exceptional choice. Visit spapalace.com for locations.
God, I'm just mind blown.
These guys boil stuff down to ridiculousness like you do sometimes. Listening to Mark, he wants the government to control all car prices. One set fee, no supply, and demand.
I think manufacturers should sell direct and every dealer should be taken out. Every dealer. If I was a manufacturer, I'd sell direct, Neo, any of these new car companies. Going through a dealer is stupid. I think every fucking dealer in the world should be shut down.
No, I think service centers, not dealers.
Yeah, you get the Tesla model.
But we need service centers.
Yeah, well, the Tesla model, that's it. And you know what? If I was a manufacturer and if I was Chevy and New Ghent was rolling people $75,000 on a fucking pickup that cost them $32, I'd kill their dealer. And you know what we forgot? The warranty. So we're totally off on this. Remember, he still bought probably $10,000 in warranties and service plans.
One of the worst, though. Remember that one Dodge dealer, Premier Chrysler, Jeep, remember the one or whatever the fuck they're called, and they canceled the guy's warranty because he gave them a bad review. They called the truck.
Oh yeah.
Owner abuse.
It was Dodge.
They canceled it.
We got it reenacted, but they canceled it.
He was blackballed.
Brand new vehicle.
Computer, he couldn't get warranty.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Renew Home Innovations. They're at the home show, by the way, right at the entrance. When you go in, go see them. They have the great bathrooms. They do showers and tubs. That's their forte. And they do shubs. I call them shubs. Oh, God, they're tub shower combinations. But they do big, I say do away with the tub. Who cares? Or get a separate tub. But these big rectangle showers with no threshold so you can walk in with disabilities. It doesn't put up an obstacle for walkers or wheelchairs or just walking in. No doors. You have that where you turn and you don't get the splash. It's wonderful. Doors are sloppy. They also have, tile or shower glass. Here's the thing. American standard fixtures and no maintenance. Renew Home Innovations. Great prices. They can start right away. They don't have any supply chain problems. 303-904-2000. Special pricing for seniors and for military veterans and active military. 303-904-2000. RenewHomeInnovations.com. Listen. To recap what we've been talking about. First, we got Drew in New Jersey. He called in again. And I didn't take him. I want to take him, but he didn't hang. And Drew, if you're listening, we don't mind talking to you. But it's a 17-year-old case. Drew, I think you spend too much time fighting people. I really do. And you say no, but you really do. You really do. And even people made comments on YouTube, didn't they? Or that he makes money on lawsuits suing people. I mean, I don't think that's you. I don't think that's what you want to portray. But you've been involved in way more than 4 lawsuits, I think. And you said you were only involved in 4 lawsuits. My God, I mean, over the years I've been on the air, you calling, it's been more than that. But if you want to call back, Drew, I'll talk to you.
Well, what blew me away about yesterday's call from Drew, and you can go back and listen to the podcast, but he talked about it like it happened last week. And then we found out.
Yeah, 17 years ago.
17 years ago.
And he said the law clerk won't talk to him and they won't take the appeal. He's so far past the statute of limitations. He says he's being persecuted by government officials and stuff. It's really too bad because it borders on weirdness. It does. Now, he always brings up this thing years ago we did together. And when he says together, there was an investment thing going on that I was on WABC in New York, syndicated there, and I used to visit there a lot, and it was my home. So I was on that radio station, a giant boomer in New York, and went after them. I also went after Imelda Marcos. Did you know that? And her gardener, she gave him a car.
I can't be the only one to have no idea who that is.
Imelda Marcos, she was the Queen of Mean, they called her, wasn't that her? Yeah, with the hotel, right? Yeah.
She owned a hotel?
Yeah, and she said only little people pay taxes. She was famous for all that. But anyway, her gardener called me because he'd got a car from her, somehow bought a car from her. That's what it was, and it was defective or something, or she hid. It was so weird. Anyway, in any case, 303-713-TALK, we're talking about also Ghent, Chevrolet, and Cadillac, or whatever the hell they're called. They're truly a terrible, terrible dealer. They're a terrible dealer. Now, I know that Howard's in the middle of trying to renegotiate something to get out of this hole they dug him. They sold him his first truck, a 2013 Silverado with 115,000 miles. They sold it to him for 65. No. The 2013 he was into it for 54,000. That engine blew in about a week or two, and then he had it.
No, the first one was that you're thinking of the 2016.
Okay, the 2013 was $30,000 loan, a $10,000 down payment, and $1,500 trade. So he was into that for
that 30.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
no, it was more than that. It's 30 plus 10, 40. 1.5.
Yeah, he's into it for there.
Yeah. Then that was the original truck, right? So then but he was told on that 41.5 truck that the purchase price was $30,000. So I don't know how you get a $41,500 loan on a $30,000 purchase. But anyway, the engine blew, and guess what? He gets another truck from them. Then he walks out the door with a $54,000 loan. His basis in that truck, counting his down payment, his trade and all that, was $65,500 on a 2016. So now they say, we're going to make this all better. We're going to make those previous two loans go away. We're going to get you into a 2022 Chevy Silverado. And what they're proposing is he take out a loan for $61,479. And don't forget, he also paid $10,000 in that original down payment and $1,500 in a trade. That would put him into this truck for $72,979, basically $73,000, and the MSRP is $44,600. Yeah. Now, even if you account for the fact that some cars now trucks are going over MSRP, they're not going that much over.
No, we looked it up on other dealer sites, so think about this. This is what we're saying. If he walked into a normal dealership and just bought that truck and put $11,000, $12,000 down with trade in cash, how much would he owe on his loan, Tom? It's $45,000 minus 12.
30-something.
That's it. And he'd be done. Now he's going to have the exact same truck with a $70,000 loan on it, or more, actually.
Ghent. Now, I'm serious when I say it. I'm not kidding around. In my opinion, it's not my opinion. In my career, this is the worst car deal that ever happened in my career that I've ever heard of. There was one other one from Don Massey years ago that screwed this poor old woman. And there's a lot of bad deals, but this is one of the worst. Now, it should not surprise you, and I've said this before, and I'm waiting for the Chamber of Commerce to come after me at least and say, hey, why are you coming after Greeley and Longmont? But then I realized there is no Chamber of Commerce because they're out at pasture. So here's the bottom line. Greeley and Longmont have more bad car dealers than all of Denver. How is that possible?
It's weekly. When's the last time we got a car deal that was bad out of Denver?
You mean in Denver?
Yeah, in Denver.
Right.
Where?
Right. Now think about this, Mark. How many times we don't know what he's calling about, and I say, are they in Greeley or Longmont?
And they always are.
Yeah. Bad car deals. It's almost as if, I swear to God, it's almost as if there is some invisible force bringing bad car dealers to Greeley and Longmont. They are the worst people. I don't know how that happens. In fact, there was one, Mark, not that many years ago. Isn't Premier up in Longmont? Chrysler, Dodge, they're on the Sleaze Brigade.
We had a
guy put a bad review about a service he had, and it's on Sleaze Brigade, Mark. Look for a Dodge dealer. They canceled his warranty at the factory saying he abused the truck or had something aftermarket. They lied about it just so they could cancel his warranty to get back at him. This is real truth stuff.
We had a motorcycle dealer up there that sold a guy that was over in Afghanistan. He was back for about 6 months before his next leave. The vehicle, the MSRP on the Harley, was $12,000. Do you remember how much the total package was when he was done? All the mop and glow they sold him? $25,000 of crap.
By the way, sleazbrigade.com, I'm getting a security notice on this. Why do they blackmail you into buying those SSL certificates? It said it was an unsafe site, not secure. Who cares? It's a Sleaze Brigade. Anyway, now, Mark, why is that? Do we have to have a socket certificate for everything we do?
Take the S out of the HTTP and you won't get that.
Or just put in the
Our link to it must have HTTPS.
Oh, okay. But anyway, I'm looking up this Dodge dealer so I can tell you the one that Prestige, it's in Longmont, Prestige Chrysler Dodge Jeep, dodging the truth. Now, here's what it's, if I hadn't witnessed this story and verified it, or been directly involved, I would have never believed it based on how this dealer works. Now listen, this is a true story. It all started when Mike Atencio bought a brand new $60,000 2016 Dodge Ram 3500 truck from these clowns. It was the 5th truck he bought from them. You'd think they'd treat him great. No, after just 4,000 miles, his warranty was canceled by Chrysler. The reason will astound you. At 4,000 miles, Mike's pinion seal started leaking. The pinion seal is located where the axle meets the transfer case. He took it to Prestige, to the service department, and they refused to fix it under warranty. You know what? Because they said he abused it. He didn't abuse it. Mike was upset and took the issue to social media. So the dealer stood fast in its decision and claimed the pinion seal was ruined because of a road hazard, and they canceled his warranty, saying it can never be covered again. The conclusion, by the way, we got Chrysler to pay for the repair immediately and lifted the warranty restriction and got an extended warranty of 75,000 miles. No thanks to Prestige Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Now, let's talk about Ghent. Ghent Chevrolet Cadillac in Greeley. I urge you to call them and tell them, this man, if you saw him, Howard, he's a truck driver, salt of the earth kind of guy, hard worker, so innocent, and they ripped his face off with rip-offs. 970-673-7952. You know, people love reviews, they say, right? Review us, review us. Well, there's nothing more accurate than a review coming straight from your mouth to them. Call them and tell them what you think of them. 970-673-7952. GetMotors.com. Sleazy sons of bitches. They are the most terrible people I have ever come across in my life.
Oh, he's bad too.
I'm just tongue-tied on this guy.
What does this mean, correction on name? Paran. That's right. What did I call her? You're right.
All right, let's talk about O'Brien Legal Services, a real estate firm. Brad O'Brien and his team will fight for you. They will give you advice. They will go over contracts, both commercial and residential. You know, it is so important that you have a real estate attorney. You're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars. So doesn't it make sense to spend a few hundred to get these reviewed, especially if you have an adverse possession or some kind of an easement problem, or you have a border dispute, or liens, or you just want to finance the house you're selling, or someone else is financing it, or you're buying a house with another person, you're not married, you're just buying it as a couple. O'Brien Legal Services, OLSlaw.com for all your real estate. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388, 720-370-7388. All right, Brian, Mark, as far as Matt.
Love Matt, Paragon Services. You know it. You know it if you're listening to the show all the time. Guy got me $70,000 straight up. My insurance company said, no hail damage, Mark. Got Matt with Paragon involved. And guess what? $70,000 check. Now, if you were affected by these wildfires, that's where you really need Matt. A lot of people think they're underinsured, and a lot of people actually are. But you need someone to look over that policy. Matt will do it for free. And if you had someone else say it, it doesn't matter. Have Matt look at it. Very important stuff. 719-726-0020. Write that down. 719-726-0020.
What did you mean by that? If someone else says it, it doesn't matter. What does that mean?
If someone else already looked and said they were underinsured, get a second opinion.
If the insurance company said it for fucking insurance.
Isn't it time for something new, like
cleaning your nose. After all, your nose is the body's air filter.
Drew's back on.
Germs. The first
I know it. You know, it wasn't Imelda Marcos, damn it. It was Hemsley. He's right. Who's Imelda? Marcos was
the Philippines.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Marcos and her husband,
Like
they stole billions from the government.
Now I've heard
that name.
Hemsley. He's so right. It was Hemsley. I got my bitches.
She was just some dirtbag, huh?
I got.
Imagine
selling
selling your gardener a piece of shit vehicle. What a god!
And she's a billionaire.
It's crazy.
Damn it! What was her first name? Hemsley. Leona Hemsley.
Where'd her money come from?
Hotels. Her husband. Where does most money come from?
Oh.
Mine's from me.
Oh. I'm such an asshole.
How about the guy we had on yesterday?
Huh?
Or who was the guy that said, Tom goes, well, no, he goes. He called up because his wife called a plumber to come over and fix a leak, okay? He was really pissed. And he goes, and she hasn't worked for 30 years. I'm the only one that works.
It's not her money, he said.
Yeah, and of course they had kids and stuff, saying that what she does has no value whatsoever.
What made it worse, his name is Mohammed. Which
it was the best.
For haters, they're going to blame his religion, I'm sure.
Oh,
if they think he is Muslim.
I think she was socking up cash to get out of there.
Do you know what, though? I know Muslim couples whose the wife is revered. She might be covered up and all that, but they
don't go by that
bullshit.
Well,
at least the ones I knew didn't treat their wives like dirt. Hell no. Not the ones I knew.
I don't think it says to treat your wife like dirt.
No, but the portrayal.
Extremely misogynistic culture.
It is.
And when you consider
but in America, it's not like that.
Okay, but
or not ones I know.
When you consider the culture, so to speak, the level of the misogyny, and then you realize that people travel around. Wherever you go, you take your damn self with you. And some of those asses.
No, that's true.
No, you don't. We had that one taxi driver in New York killed his daughter.
No, I know. Some of it gets. It's fucking not some of it. It's ridiculous. But here's the deal.
Well, I find it hard to believe it's legal to kill.
There are a lot of Americanized Muslim women who don't.
Yeah.
I mean. I say a lot. I don't know. There's a lot.
They still probably have their role in the religion, though, that they truly believe in. You know what I'm saying? That they are supposed to take care of the kids. They are supposed to do this.
Well, there's a very conventional, as he puts it, misogynistic, or what is the other word we used to have for it? What was that word? Not patriarchal, but it was an insult. It was during the feminism movement. What did they call? They called men who were. What was the name?
Men.
No. There was actual.
Just straight up men.
What was that?
There is a word.
What was the word she used? Shit. I'll think about it.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With
some guys are just ridiculous.
You can save. And Allstate Better Protection costs a whole lot less. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
A menace?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Don't forget, waterpros.net, the best water systems anywhere for the lowest prices. Waterpros.net. I mean, whether you're softening or you're doing drinking water at the kitchen, under $1,000 for the kitchen fountain, under $1,000, triple filter, reverse osmosis. Waterpros.net. Okay, listen, I had that name wrong when I said Imelda Marcos. That's the woman from the Philippines. So, Bahram, thank you for calling in. Barham, is it? Barham, is it Leona Helmsley? Was that who I'm trying to think of, or Hemsley, or what?
Yeah, you were, immediately I knew it was Leona Helmsley, and
that's right.
New York, but she was definitely known as the Queen of Mean. And in fact, one thing I always remember is about 30 some years ago, 60 Minutes had a 15-minute segment on her, and They were up at their house up in the Hudson Valley, a big mansion. And,
right, on the Hudson River, right.
She was exactly in the presentation, exactly the kind of person that she was, very mean and everything.
Yeah.
And she was looking out at the pasture, and she saw she had around 100 sheep out there, and she said, "My sheep love me." And immediately when she walked towards the sheep ran away from her like you wouldn't believe. And I tell you, she looked so upset because it was being filmed for 60 minutes at the time.
Oh, that's funny.
She sounds like Cruella de Vil.
Yes, she was. In fact, if you looked at her photos from those in the 1970s, she did look a lot like her. But
she died in 2007. I didn't realize that. She died in 2000.
I remember Harry Helmsley died much earlier, and so she took over the hotel chain and everything. But when we were talking about Imelda Marcos, she isn't that far off either, because she was well known for, as people were
her shoes,
extreme poverty. She was well known for tens of thousands of pairs of shoes.
Right, I remember that.
You were actually on the right track.
I got them all mixed up, Bram. Thank you very much for that correction. And it's funny, along the Hudson River there, it's amazing, the mansions up on the hill it overlooks the Hudson River, and then also this train that goes up and down and brings everyone to New York, to Grand Central from upstate, who work in the city, the commuter trains. But there was a movie made, Woman on the Train or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but if you look at that area, that's where she lived. You know who else had a house up there? Because I lived up there. Sidney Poitier had a home up there. And almost every rich person you can think of had a house up there from New York City. Anyway, and here's another great thing about upstate New York. When they wrote plays for Broadway and all the stars came to New York, they would go to upstate New York into these big barns, and they would rehearse all summer stock, and that's where you got to see plays with the real Broadway people, because that's where they practiced. And then they'd go to Broadway. Isn't that cool? You're from up there, Mark. 303-713-TALK. Okay, so let's talk to Mark. Mark, I'm so sorry for the wait. What's going on with your car wash, man? Sue sent us some pictures. What did they do to you?
Okay, good morning, Tom.
Hey.
Well, in a nutshell, when I went through the Cobblestone Auto Spa on Tower Road in Aurora,
the mirror.
Yeah, it's one of those that pulls the vehicle through, right? There was people in front, people behind me. The wash stopped. The next thing I know, I hear a loud pop, and then I see this mechanical arm bouncing down the side of my truck.
What was it? A touchless wash? What kind of wash is it?
Well, it's not necessarily touchless. It's got they're like probably like a chamois.
I know what they are. Hanging rags, right? Brushes. I call them hanging rags.
Okay.
You know those rags that sway back and forth as opposed to the brushes, right?
Yes, sir.
But how did it hook that mirror?
Well, it didn't hook the mirror. The arm, when it was bouncing down you heard this loud pop, and all of a sudden you could see the arm kind of swinging like it was about to come off.
Well, was it defective? I mean, was the arm defective? Did it malfunction?
Yes, definitely it malfunctioned.
Do they admit that?
They have admitted that, because they offered to buy me a mirror and ship it to me or ship it to their store, and I come get it. But they will not pay for the labor to replace the thing.
Well, probably because they're hoping you go away.
No, they're saying, no, they'll put it on for you, right, or no?
No, they won't do that. They'll just
that's
say,
stupid.
Here's the mirror, and you deal with it.
But what is wrong with people these days?
I have no idea. I mean, they broke it, they acknowledge it, but they say we're not going to put it on.
Right. Well, and it put a dent in my right rear passenger door. It also put a dent.
I wouldn't settle for any of it. I would add up all the damage, present them with a bill, and then take them to small claims court. How much is all of your damage?
I've actually had 4
How much? I just need to know.
Shops.
I need to know the highest. I need to know the highest and the lowest. Highest and the lowest.
The lowest is around $2,900, and the highest is about $3,300.
Okay, so get right in the middle and just go after them.
Okay.
I mean, but we will too. We'll call them if you want.
Just serve them. It's $55. Sue them for the 30. I'd sue them for the higher amount.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You know, I don't see how they get out of this. I don't see how they get out of it. What's the name of the car wash?
It's really frustrating. It's Cobblestone Auto Spa. There's 7 of them located in Denver.
Is it owned by Ghent? I'm just curious. It's just a little joke.
Pardon?
Never mind. It's a little joke based on how terrible Ghent is up in Greeley. I thought maybe they were related. But anyway, here's what we should do.
Okay.
Maybe we can reach out to someone above.
Suze, let's give this to one of our deputies to call and hound these people. I mean, come on. The guy just wants his freaking car fixed. 303-713-8255.
Okay. Joan, who told your husband he had 90% blockage in his carotid?
It was...
Because there's a surgery they can do. Medicare would cover. I mean, there's a surgery, and then
but he was afraid to do that.
My God, it takes away the risk of stroke right away. That's where most of the stroke comes from. And it'll clear up he'll start he won't even believe the blood to his brain.
So Dr. Boone, is he here in Denver?
Yeah. He's really good. But that surgery, he doesn't do that. But I mean, that surgery is available. But Repatha will take a big, his dad had about 80 or 5 or 90% blockage, and Repatha is reversing it.
Yeah.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking?
Also, chelation is controversial, but Boone doesn't do chelation. Grossman does. Boone says, look, if you get on Repatha, you don't need it. Grossman says do everything you can to do both. Yeah. Chelation is...
Core Scans, without the E, that's corscans.com, is the website where you can learn about this scan I've been talking about for $189. And what I say in the commercial on TV is $189 can save your life, and it really can. And we have documented cases where it's saved people's lives. If you have soft plaque, it's in immediate danger. And what they can do is detect it or not. Now, you could have a major problem, or like Roger called today, had a minor problem. And all of them can be treated, and insurance covers the treatment. And they have great referrals where you go to your own doctor. But warning, not all doctors know what to do with soft plaque, so be aware of that. But at least find out. Corescans.com. I'm telling you, saving lives every day. 720-740-2663. 720-740-2663. Genesis Total Exteriors is a company that we've known now for 30 years at least. Mark Szymanski is the owner. He does all manner of home improvements inside and out, even though it's called Genesis Total Exteriors. He does, pop tops. He does basements. He does kitchens and baths. Also, all of the exterior. In fact, that's why he can do great storm damage repair inside and out. Water damage, whatever, mold, whatever, because he has a home improvement company and he can put it all on one invoice for your insurance. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509.
Affected by the wildfire, learn how to avoid common mistakes when dealing with...
It's Kansas City. She decapitated her 6-year-old and their dog.
What? Oh my God, she killed her 6-year-old, decapitated
and the dog. She called 911.
Oh my God.
Said she called on Tuesday night telling authorities that she believed the devil was trying to attack her.
There you go.
The cops showed up, found blood on the front steps. They hear a woman singing inside. Jeez. They found the body of the decapitated 6-year-old boy near the kitchen and the dog in the basement.
That is so horrendous. I can't even think of that. God, even in horror movies, they don't kill kids.
And a dog in the same breath, huh?
web services including REST API.
Jeez, that's absolutely crazy.
External systems using various methods of authentication and parse various externally created data sets for standardization and singular database.
They're saying get the Baker log on.
Well, that's fucking automatic. I mean, but that's only 72 hours. But I don't think they'll have any trouble keeping her.
Well, I'd say, even looking at her picture, she's a young girl. She's crazy as shit, man. She is out of her mind.
You know what's sad is a 6-year-old.
It's unbelievable.
Baby, God almighty.
How about that one that drowned? What was it, 5 of her kids?
Yeah.
From big to little?
Yeah. And what did she say happened? You remember?
I don't.
Oh,
but she,
fuck, don't you remember what
she got
said?
off.
What did she say to him?
Who? Which one?
The woman who
Mental
her kids in the car. You remember who she said hijacked the car?
No, that's a different one. That was one kid in the back seat strapped in, maybe 2. Said a black man ran up and did it. No, this woman stood at the bathtub and drowned each other in front of the other.
I meant the one in the car. Okay, so
she actually, they pleaded insanity, and she actually got insanity.
Yeah, but it's not like she gets off, Mark. She doesn't.
No, but it's a lot better than going to prison. I mean, she's in a mental institution.
For the criminally insane.
For the criminally insane. Well, remember how Geraldo got started? Going into that place in New York, man? Holy shit. He said that was the worst thing he's ever seen in his life, and that was like 50 years ago. They had a bunch of people just locked in a building, no bathrooms. The state. It was a state place.
You mean
ran by the state?
New York.
Yeah.
Was that Willowbrook?
That sounds like it.
Something like that. Geraldo Rivera did it.
Yeah.
That's what made him famous.
Someone there gave him a key that worked there and said, you won't believe it.
That made Geraldo famous. That was his first big story.
He brought down, part of the government.
He was working for WABC.
WNBC. Yeah. Someone told me when maybe it was you, but when they went into Fox in the last years, no, it couldn't have, I don't think it was you. But, so the corner offices and the skyscraper they're in, you had Hannity in one corner. Geraldo had his own corner at the time. O'Reilly had a corner. Maybe it was you.
Yeah, I was there during.
They had all the corner offices.
Hannity was just really starting back then.
Oh, 9/11, I think, made his career. Don't you think?
It was one of the things. Yeah, Rush really made Hannity. He filled in for Rush.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the #1 fill-in.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. You know what I love about them? All of their prices are on the website, right for you to see. So if you need a spring, you need a new opener, you need a new door, whatever you need. And their 24/7 service for emergencies, like if you can't get out of your garage because of a broken spring or something like that. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 720-370-3987. It should be your One Clear Choice Doors, One Clear Choice Garage Doors, but the website, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. All right, so Drew, welcome to the show. And listen, man, we didn't realize this case you were talking about yesterday was 17 years old. So you've exhausted every statute of limitation there is.
Tom, that's when that case that I sent you was a settlement. And all I can say is that powerful political people, I didn't even have a lawyer, with the value increasing over the years, it would be much beyond the near 10,000. It'd be around 20,000. But the point is we defeated powerful political people, and they've been harassing and threatening me, not all of them, probably just 1 or 2, ever since, making up 5 fake criminal charges, all dismissed. One judge dismissed them in 1 second. He said, State versus Drew Bradford. I said, yes, Your Honor. He said, dismissed. So this is what's been going on, and now they continue harassing me. They took my $250 filing fee, and the judge refused to do the case. That's illegal. He kept my money and refused to do it.
But what is the case? What is the case that he refused to file?
That's the doctor case.
The malpractice?
Yes, and I sent you, Sue hopefully gave it to you. What
are you alleging? What are you alleging in the malpractice case?
Oh, you'll love this. What we're really trying to allege is that in America, people can no longer sue for minor malpractice. It's been going on about 7 years. Hundreds of thousands of people are being harmed. So we're trying to do a good cause, which is what you and I did before.
Hey, listen, Drew, I want to ask you something about this, though, seriously. What do you mean they can't sue for minor malpractice? Because you mean of the expense involved, it's cost prohibitive? That's the only reason they can't sue.
I was preaching one day, and a lady said that, yeah, you're absolutely right. The doctor injured her wrist in the hospital surgery.
Right. Yeah.
She went to a lawyer.
Right.
And the lawyer said, I'm not taking it because of the cost of litigation.
That's exactly right. I mean, because unless they get like hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages, it's not worth it. He's right. Just to hire experts to go into court costs thousands of dollars. So that's why with malpractice, we tell people, really, you won't find a lawyer on contingency, that is, for malpractice unless you have $300,000 or more in damages.
But it's not just malpractice, guys. I mean, we know personally any case that has any form of merit and there's going to be discovery and it's over $100,000, you're easily going to have $100,000 or $200,000 in attorney's fees.
No, it is true, Drew. It's the system, but I don't know who you sue about that. There's nothing the Supreme Court can do about it. You said you wanted to go to the... Go ahead.
We're trying to establish a medical malpractice claims court, just like workers' compensation, where people go and they can get some compensation for their medical injury, because right now, hundreds of thousands of people...
You should be running for office.
No, hold on, Drew. Don't say workers' comp. That's not a great system for workers. But I will tell you this. As crazy as it gets between us with discussions on all kinds of crap, I'm telling you that it's not such a bad idea that something be done about maybe a small claims system for if you have damages under, let's say, $100,000, where you can have forced mediation or something where you don't have to spend. No, Mark, I mean, that's not such a bad idea.
Because there's so much money in the MDA. There's no way they'd ever allow that. The insurance companies that insure these people.
I think it would raise the cost of health care tremendously.
And it would ruin doctors' reputations when guys like, some people do stuff like that.
Drew, you're not suing for your own malpractice, though. You were not harmed, were you?
Well, I was, but the issue, if you read the certification from Sue, we have a president of a company who's written an affidavit to the judge in this case trying to establish just what we said, that you can't get an expert witness. See, that's the difference between this. In medical malpractice, dental malpractice...
Then who would be...
Hold on. Wait, but just let him finish, though. What were you going to say? You can't get it because of it's too expensive. Is that what you mean?
Well, they won't talk to regular people anymore.
That's right.
So
that's
you
right.
Can't,
but Drew, the legal system, it's not just medical malpractice. The legal system truly is out of the hands of a common person. That's not news.
In Colorado, for example, anybody with a professional license, like an attorney, you can't sue an attorney for being a bad attorney and not representing you right without another attorney agreeing with
Obviously.
You. Well, but who else would?
And with medical malpractice, you have to have another doctor say it is malpractice.
Oh, my tooth hurts. It was this dentist's fault. Well, who says? Well, I say it still hurts. I mean, it would be absurd.
Drew, really, I don't know what your goal is, because malpractice is not the only place where courts have become cost prohibitive. And I don't know what can be done about it. I really don't know what can be done about it. I mean, but...
Well, we can start, Tom, if you would just take down my phone number, which Susan has.
I have your phone number.
If any lawyer wants to do the case, I'll do the expenses.
But what is do the case, Drew? What do you mean do the case? What case is it?
This particular, I would like to get an attorney and litigate against two judges and 3 clerks.
See,
because they are literally persecuting me. They're
it's not
stealing my money.
Drew, no one will take the case. I know they won't, Drew. I know it. Because no one's going to sue judges and clerks who are persecuting you.
Can we try?
You've been on the air 2 days. If there's an attorney interested, they would have called me. I mean, you've already said you're looking for an attorney. What's in it for the attorney? What's in it for the attorney? You know how many hours and hours and hours and hours and hours you want him to go to New Jersey to fight 3 judges?
No, I want him to do it from his state, and we're going to argue I can't get a fair adjudication in New Jersey.
Okay, Drew, I would be lying to you if I thought there was a hope. Honest to God. No, listen, you want me to treat you with respect and truth. No attorney is going to go after 3 judges in New Jersey in their home state of Colorado in federal court, hoping first to prove, because to prove you can't get a fair trial in Jersey, that has to be brought in Jersey for that. And only they can release venue, and then another state has to agree to venue, or another court. You can't simply go somewhere else because you don't like the judges where you are. Listen, we've exhausted
and I might hang myself for asking this, but what does that have to do with his first 20 minutes that was talking about
malpractice?
Malpractice.
Well, I don't know. Drew, I don't know what suing judges has to do with opening up the courts for malpractice.
I'm just trying to show you how I am an altruistic person. We tried my first case.
All right.
We protected minorities.
All right, hold on. Drew, I can't go on. I'm serious, I can't. And here's why, okay? First of all, you kind of fibbed a little when you said you were only been involved in 4 lawsuits. You've been involved in way more than 4 lawsuits because you do a lot of fighting for useless causes. I don't mean useless meaning meaningless or have no value, but useless meaning they can never be won ever.
I don't even know why you got on the medical malpractice stuff.
This report is sponsored by
I almost would have understood if someone screwed up his hand.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like mental illness.
Well, he is. You saw the letter from his shrink.
What did it say?
He said, "I've been treating him for 16 years."
For what?
Well, he's a psychiatrist. He wasn't treating him for bad back.
Why did he give us a letter saying that he's under psychiatric care?
I have no idea.
You would think he could.
He's your buddy.
Yeah. We can.
Notice how he doesn't say Mark.
He does say
Tom. You helped me back in 1940.
It's tax season, which could be saving season if you open a college savings account.
About that.
Not only will you be saving for college, you can earn a Colorado income tax deduction for 2022. Start saving today at collegeinvest.org.
Harris Family Law. They are family law attorneys for separation, divorce, child custody, support, all of those issues. Look, I'd rather you not need a family attorney that nothing goes wrong, but listen, when it does, you need someone to talk to. Harris Family Law, a large established law firm for years in Colorado, one of the leading family law attorneys is Rich Harris. Rich and Lisa, his wife, started this firm. They have now, I think, 30 attorneys. They have all kinds of specialties. They can take unbundled services. I love this, meaning, let's just say you want to open up the support issue, not the whole thing. They can do 1 or 2 things. They can help you assist yourself even to keep prices down, or they can do the whole thing. It's up to you. You ought to talk to them. 303-515-5000. They also do collaborative law. Look it up. Collaborative law. It's about getting the other parties to agree to talk everything out and not run up legal fees. They've been very successful. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. 303-515-5000. Hey, if you're looking for any kind of a loan for your home, how about Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan? If you're looking for a forward mortgage where you need to refi or buy, you know what I love about them? The interest rate guarantee. Think about this. If rates go down over 2 years after you close, over that 2-year period after you close, they refinance you free of charge. And then you get a new 2-year guarantee. They can also help you refi to pull cash out to pay off some high-interest debt or to lower your payment, shorten your term. Whatever your desire, they can help you. And they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. They approve you. They set the money aside. All you have to do is find the house. Ideal Home Loans. Countertop.com. First they listen, then they lend. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000.
Hi, I'm Dr. Allen with Restore Osteo of Colorado. What activity would you enjoy if your knees didn't hurt?
Yeah, he's something. Oh, you know, he's been calling me for so many years that I don't know. Then he'll go for a year without talking once. Or has he ever been a full year without talking, Mark?
I don't think a full year.
Begin your journey to healthy mobility.
You know, that Tesla Powerwall, I wonder if there's a knockoff a little cheaper. It's cheaper than I thought it was.
What is it, Mark, a Powerwall? What are you talking about?
It's a massive battery backup that runs your house, basically.
And how does it charge?
On the grid. On your electric, yeah. They're like $5 grand now. It's a little cheaper than I thought for real.
How many kilowatts is it?
That one, let me look here.
Regenerative treatments, these biologic therapies can repair and restore damaged tissue in the joint with long-lasting results. So whether it's joint pain or arthritis,
yeah, but a Powerwall, if you keep it charged, I wonder how long it lasts.
Yeah. Well, they have different ones. 6K, 6 kilowatts.
QC Kinetics is now available to us right here in Colorado. So no more excuses. Get out of that pain with real regenerative.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's not correct. That's what they're saying you should have for solar if you were going to charge your Powerwall with solar. A 6K solar system. I'm still finding the output on the Powerwall. 13.5 watts, kilowatts.
That's pretty deep, okay.
It should last about 3 to 5 days.
For emergencies like refrigeration, heat, air.
Yeah. I don't know about AC. Old Cyber Dave took down Mountain Peak Internet one time. He plugged a vacuum into our fucking battery backups that were running all of our modem banks. Fucking that vacuum sucked killed that battery the second he turned it on. I couldn't believe it, man. It's got to be just the amp. It died instantly. Instantly. You remember when Cyber Dave killed the internet by plugging the vacuum into it?
I remember when I pushed the button.
What button?
Dave plugged in the vacuum cleaner and turned on the vacuum cleaner. Massive drain, boom, the whole thing went down.
Was this a UPS you're talking
about?
Yeah,
the battery, whole bank of batteries.
It was huge. It was huge.
Now I'm sitting next to it like this, and Mark is talking about it, and I look over, there's a bottle cap over the switch. I lift up the bottle cap and switch to the
outside. Took down everything. I forgot about that.
I didn't.
It was probably a $5,000 or $6,000 array back then.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
But it would run our internet with no power for at least 24 hours.
If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
As long as the team was up, we would be up.
With one of our firm's Colorado area attorneys, 8101 East.
Back on the Lord. I think Howard's going to get screwed.
Watch, he's going to call us up. Hey, I'm in my new truck.
I know. I know.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget waterpros.net, the best systems at the lowest prices, waterpros.net. Please don't forget that. And people say, what's that number, Tom, for those great water systems? 303-862-5554. 862-5554. Let's keep going here and
hey,
talk.
I wanted to ask Joan something.
Yes.
So on a
reverse mortgage with us today.
So you have to be, what, 62 as a minimal?
Minimum, yeah?
Minimum. Mm-hmm. And then we had that 78-year-old woman call this morning. She qualified for, you said, typically 55%.
Is that the most anyone's going to get, Joan?
Close to 60, but you have to be like in your...
So it used, what was it? What did it used to be, the loan-to-value limit?
So at 62, it would be about 55%.
And at 62, what is it now?
So it's 50, and it doesn't go up very much.
Wow. Okay, so 50% is what you can figure on, and if you're really old, maybe 55. Does it ever go to 60%?
If you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
In your 80s.
Yeah.
If that woman could get out of the house she's in now and have the $300,000 in equity, it sounds like she has, could she find a cheaper house? And, like, if someone wants to downsize, can you buy a house?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You can.
It doesn't even have to be downsized, Mark, but explain how a reverse works in a purchase.
So you just have to have a large down payment. So, if maybe about 45% in her case to 50% down. And then you can buy a house, no monthly payments, just pay taxes and insurance, and if it has HOA.
And you're done.
And then you're done.
She'd be able to buy, you're right, she'd get that cash. She'd get that cash, be able to...
Yeah,
and
then be out from under...
The reason I was going there is I don't know how big this house is, how much maintenance it is, but it seems a lot for a 78-year-old woman, that's all.
And she's living with somebody that it's a hostile relationship. I mean, just to have your own place and have the peace of mind.
Yeah, and also have someone that's shoveling the drive, that's included. In a parking space, it's included.
Are you talking about if she gets a condo or something?
Yeah, a townhome or a condo.
Or maybe in a senior home. I don't mean a home, a senior condo development.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Terminix, and I'm hoping, Lou, I'm so sorry, Terminix. What's going on with Terminix?
Yes. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Lou. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm having a problem. We had some mice in our house. It was back in October.
Yeah.
We called Terminix, and they came out, and they did their thing and took care of everything.
Yeah.
And then they were supposed to come back and check the traps and restock it and things like that. And they said they weren't going to do it. So
why? Why?
They just said they weren't coming.
Well, hold on. Was that part of your agreement?
It is, yes.
So the contract you signed, what did you pay under that contract?
Well, we paid two charges. There was $1,300 for external mitigation.
What plus what else?
And then plus $199 to take care of the traps and stuff inside.
Now, was that a one-time charge?
Yes.
And for that one-time charge, did the contract say for that one-time charge they would come back, or is that what I don't know, or are you just saying that?
No, they said they would come back and
I'm not talking about what they said. What I'm talking about is the contract. Did it say that this $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 included follow-up care?
I believe it did. I don't have the contract with me, but I believe it did.
Because normally they have a monthly charge for that. I don't understand. So you're saying you paid a one-time fee, and how many times were they supposed to come back for that price?
Well, they would come back just once and recheck it, and then
I get it.
Next quarter, you would have to pay again.
I get it. That sounds reasonable. Okay, I thought you were talking about regular care all the time. You're talking about just one follow-up visit. When were they in your home?
It was in October.
And you wanted to come back. You wanted them to come back when?
In November.
When did they say that? When did they say they would come back?
Restock the trap, and they said they wouldn't. So what happened is we disputed the charges.
You shouldn't, because wait. That was
said, okay, we'll come back.
All right, hold on, and I'll come back to you, okay? Hang on, I really will. And then we have a question on reverse mortgages and more.
In Ghent.
The art of grant.
What about Ghent? He's up there right now. Somebody from Ghent or Howard?
Ghent again.
Howard, but he's trying to get one of them on the phone. He's going to send us the MSRP.
That's good. Sweet answer.
Yeah, they probably have an addendum sticker on it.
He said it was in the glove box. That is a little weird.
Sometimes
we're waiting for another email from Ghent.
But they're supposed to have a sticker on that car until it's sold. Unless they turn it into a demo or something, or a used car.
They said it had 60 miles on it.
It's not used until it has 1,400.
Yeah.
Or 2,000, I think, now. Technically used. Which is better, by the way. You know why? Because the taxes, the sales tax will be lower.
The rate's the same. It's based on price, though, right?
No, I'm saying no. Even just registering it. If it's got 1,999
the
miles,
use tax.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
not the sales tax.
You know, Colorado is one of these states that have use taxes on homes. They're so freaking expensive. Holy shit.
Cars are like the only thing, well, not the only thing, but it's amazing how much tax revenue one car can bring to.
Well, I know, but in some states, to register a car is $50. I mean, you know, but in Colorado, you pay a tax on the value every year.
Montana's next to
nothing. That's just not fair.
These forces, including 10 years. Aircraft, sure.
After about 8 or 10 years.
Preparing to launch an attack against Ukraine.
Stop tracking it on the
coming days.
Blinken said Russia.
By the way,
my cars are beyond that.
Main Street.
Oh, that's interesting.
Main Street media is saying that Hillary and gang did not spy on the White House.
President Biden in Lorain,
That
Ohio,
there's no proof of it. That's what
bipartisan infrastructure law.
I tell you what I think is interesting right now is this Ukraine thing again. I don't understand why our people are guessing left and right on what's happening. I don't even understand the news leak coming out. Why don't they just wait for something to happen? They're on, they're up there talking about it every day, like they're playing games with Putin or something.
As mask requirements are slowly lifted, there's a call for more mental health.
Oh, did you see Joy Bear?
What about it?
CDC is changing guidance on masks. You don't need to wear them. She says she's going to wear hers.
Oh no,
in public forever.
Well, Biden's thinking about establishing a mask mandate if they don't.
Echoes the call.
Just look it up, or unless they're just trying to piss off again on Fox.
Guidance could be released by the CDC as early as next week. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
John Wilson, a former executive at Staples, has received the longest prison term in the college admissions scandal, sentenced to 15 months. Trevor Alt, ABC News.
So the word he's looking for, chauvinist.
Chauvinist pig. Yes. In fact, it was male chauvinist pig.
There you go.
Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages. Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
I'm hungry.
Even those in early
So how do you guys make it to 2 every day? We go past 2. I had cashews and raisins this morning. I exercise too much not to have a little something. Yeah.
I've been zero carbs since.
And cranky as hell.
Zero. Unless you're starting to dream of broccoli.
I don't do that. I don't do the no. I minimize it. I minimize it. Yeah, for big time. Yeah.
Oh, I'll get my
I
body.
can't do the no carbs. I have too many taste and smell issues from COVID. A lot of things that taste terrible. Like I've been over a year of taste and smell issues.
I was running 13 on the keto strip, which is like high ketosis.
See, I can't get into ketosis.
Oh, it takes 0 carbs. It's about 4 days.
Enjoying yourself?
You go 5 days, 0 carbs.
Wow.
You'll max out the stick on the ketosis. Your body is doing nothing but burning fat when you're sleeping, when you're doing anything.
The additional funding allows us to not only have...
We're going to Vegas all next week, so...
Yeah.
I'm making room for my Vegas stuff. Yeah, we're there Monday and we come home Saturday.
Wow. I've got the 2/22/2022 birthday, Joan. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm not turning 22.
It'd be even wilder if it was 22/22.
That'd be crazy.
2/22/22.
Well, you always say you're 22. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to set my alarm for 2/22.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be 22.
Didn't be 22.
No, it wouldn't be 2. It wouldn't be turning 22 on 2/22/22.
The crux of the Lou issue on Terminix
Yeah.
is he disputed it. They came out. So then he told his credit card to pay him. The credit card paid him, paid Terminix, but Terminix is saying they never got the payment back. Just so you know, that's the crux of the issue.
Well, that's math.
So he disputed it. They said, company, give him his money back. They said they did. Terminix says, nope.
Well,
So, and he doesn't want to pay them twice.
Well, if they did, it's on his credit card. Did it show back?
Yeah, he says it did, but Terminix saying they didn't get it on their end.
Well, Sue, you know about this more than anyone, so what do you think happened?
I think he needs to provide the statement showing the charge, the original charge.
Is it more likely, though, that the payment didn't get to them or that they don't know where it is?
I think
it's more likely it's Terminix's issue. That's my...
Oh, I disagree with that.
Well, you know I'm usually right.
When it comes to credit card stuff, she deals with
Chauvinist pig.
Chauvinist. That's the word I was. That's what I was looking for. Whether they used to call you a chauvinist if you didn't get.
But Mark filled in the rest of it. Male chauvinist pig.
Hellcat's a contributor, huh? Smarty ass Hellcat was just a fan of part of the show.
Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio analysis.
So I'll be taking off a little early because I have to figure out.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC, investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
Comeback speech. Was she going to challenge Biden?
Who's comeback speech?
I hope there's another repeat of Hillary versus Trump.
God, wouldn't that be the best? I want to see all the questions that Bill when he flew over to the island with Epstein. 24 times. Oh, what were you doing there 24 times? Yeah, really.
You know, Prince picking flowers for my beautiful wife.
Oh, 17 million, I heard. But he was innocent.
That's the highest.
Couldn't for his day in court.
That's the highest price thing he ever had.
He said you know what he actually said? The Queen made him do it. That's his out. The Queen made me settle.
I said girl in Vegas.
He's got his grubby hands all over her.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Don't forget realcbdthatworks.com. Tom and the promo code 30% off. I tell you about this because it's great for people with pain, anxiety, viruses. By the way, they have a viral formula, antiviral formula that blocks viruses getting into human cells. It's not a cure or a substitute for vaccines. I don't want to get into a controversy, but it really does work. Look up the studies on CBD and Oregon State University. realcbdthatworks.com. And 30% off Tom and the promo code. Okay, so Terminix, here's what happened with Terminix, basically. Lou had him come out. They said, we'll do a follow-up visit in a month. They didn't. He got pissed, and he canceled the charge on his credit card. By the way, that's wrong, because technically they did some service. You shouldn't have. Although I can see people being upset doing that. But unless he had it in writing, they were going to come back. I think he had a weak case there. However, let's not even go there. That's not the issue. Here's the issue. He canceled the charge. They came back out, and he said, okay, we came back out, now pay us. And so he called us. I don't know. Did you call your credit card company, Lou, and say, now I'm no longer contesting the charge?
That's correct. That's
and then did they put it back on the next statement?
It's on the same statement, yes.
So there's a subtraction and then an addition?
There's 3 charges. There's the original charge, there's a provisional credit, and then there's the charge.
Perfect.
There's the provisional credit.
Right.
And I sent this information to Terminix twice already.
Well, that's all you need then. It's their problem.
Well, in the meantime, they've canceled my service, and they've also threatened to take me to collections.
Well, here's what I do in cases like that.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, cancel your service. They already came out. You're not going to get service forever anyway on the 1500. How many more services were you expecting for that original payment?
Maybe just one more.
Yeah, well, why? Where are you pulling this out of the air? When you say this, Lou, where are you getting it from? The original visit was $1,500. They were supposed to come back. You said they came back. Now you're saying I expected 1 more. Why not 5 more? I mean, you seem to be arbitrarily telling me what they owe you. How? If you don't have a contract to say it, then forget about them canceling you. At least you got a follow-up visit. I can't help you with it. What I can help you with is if they come after you. In fact, I think you should call them and say, please come after me. I beg you to come after me because I have a credit card statement showing you were paid. That's all the proof you need.
Well, they're not accepting
Well,
that.
it doesn't matter. A judge will. If they say they're taking you to collection, do you know what collections do? Nothing, unless they take you to court. Collection agencies have no power. The only power they have is to intimidate you, and then they take you to court. And if they take you to court, that's a good thing, because then you go. It's the only venue to go and get this taken care of. They're not going to listen to you. They're idiots. So you go and you show them, see, I paid. It's like a canceled check. Do you understand that? You win. That's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. But do you have a statement that says those three things? Because if you do, you're golden.
Yes, and I sent that to them twice
Okay,
already.
now, there's something else you have. Your credit card company will tell you where that charge was deposited.
Okay, they sent me a letter, and they said, we recognize that you're canceling the dispute, and we will put through the charge for Terminex.
I know, but you have to know where it went. They know.
They know. They said they verified that it went to Terminex's bank.
Good! Excellent. Is that in your letter?
No, it isn't.
Then where is this? Who'd they say this to? You?
I spoke to a dispute.
Good. Tell them you need. Tell them you said.
The credit card company, and he's the one that told me.
Good. Tell them you need something in writing.
A letter from him.
Yeah,
saying this,
something like that. Yeah, that would be good. Although your credit card statement's damn strong, Lou. See, here's the problem. We get this a lot where people are being threatened for collection, and you can't really get them off your back because they don't care. They've already disputed. They're already not believing you. The only way to get them off your back is to beg them to take you to court. Then they get off your back. And by the way, nowadays, I don't even think you have to show up. I think it's all going to be telephonic anyway. But here's the deal. You have proof of payment. Get a letter and you'll be golden. Paul's got a reverse mortgage question, I believe. Paul, you're on with Joan Sullivan from Approval Reverse Mortgage. Go ahead.
Yes, Joan. Could you please ask Joan, if you put your home in a trust, can you still get a reverse mortgage?
It depends on what kind of trust it is.
It's got to be a revocable trust.
Right. And
Paul.
Then the lender also wants to look at your trust to make sure there is nothing in that trust that would prohibit you from getting a loan on the property.
Yeah, and they want to make sure they can foreclose on it is the real reason, if they have to. Paul, I got to ask you something. Do you have the home in a trust right now?
No, I don't. I'm thinking about doing it. It's paid for. I'm 75 years old.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you why. So what is your game plan for putting a house in a trust? 75 years old, why would you put it in a trust?
Protected from future litigation, I guess.
Okay, hold on. A revocable trust will not protect you from litigation, and it won't protect you from a Medicaid look back if you wanted to get Medicaid.
Whoa!
Right.
You sure about that?
Not only sure.
I'm not only Florida.
I'm not only sure. I'm positive. So, it is a revocable trust. If something is done and it's revocable, they're going to tell you to revoke it. If it's irrevocable, that's a different story. You don't want an irrevocable trust at 75 years old, in my opinion, unless you really have people hounding you with lawsuits, do you?
Or if he's given it to his son or whoever,
you can do that.
Trustee.
You can do that with a revocable trust, or you can do a beneficiary's deed. I need to know what you're trying to do, Paul. Do you have heirs that will get the house?
I do have an heir, and I was thinking about the Medicare look-back, trying to protect it from the Medicare look-back.
A revocable trust. I don't think a revocable trust will do that. I say I don't think because I'm never going to say I'm 100% sure. So, but revocable trust, no, I'm almost positive because it doesn't protect you from lawsuits. And we could get Blake Harris on.
In this state, I agree with you. In Florida, you can do a ladybird deed.
But that's not a revocable trust, Mark. That's a ladybird deed. Okay, that's a whole different ballgame. So, why don't we ask Blake Harris Law, Suze, if we can, real quick. And here's the thing, Paul. You could do something very easy. Why don't you just do, if you don't have people breathing down your neck, for lawsuits, for goodness sakes. A reverse loan will protect you from lawsuits. Do you want to know why? It's probably better. I know it's better than a revocable trust. Here's why. If you have your home, you can do a beneficiary's deed which says when you die, your son gets the house, right? Automatically. Number two, when you get a reverse loan, they put a lien on your home 125% of value. Right? Is that right or wrong?
150.
150%. That's even better. So, Paul, if someone was looking at you as a target for a lawsuit and they did an asset search, they would find
2 deeds.
What's that?
2 deeds.
What do you mean?
So
I got to put him on hold. He's so loud there, that background.
It's if it's an adjustable rate, then there are 2 deeds that are filed with the county.
2 liens, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they're each for 150%.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you understand what we're saying, Paul? That the mere fact that you get a reverse loan protects you from lawsuits. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Can you do that with a second?
Wait, what did you say, sir?
Second mortgage and not borrowing against it?
You can't. Can you do what with a second mortgage? Oh, you mean eat up your equity?
Still protect you would still protect your property.
Okay, let me ask you something. Is your house paid for? Is your house paid for right now?
Oh, it's been paid for many, many years.
Well, then there is no such thing as a second mortgage, because if you
it'd
take
be a first, yeah.
Yeah, it would be a line of credit. A line of credit does not protect you, because a line of credit can be drawn on if you don't borrow the money, and if you get a judgment, in fact, it's attractive to people. If you had a line of credit that was dormant sitting there, it's attractive for someone who wants to sue you. But let me ask you something, Paul. Why are you so damn worried about being sued?
I'm not worried about being sued. I'm worried about the look back from the Medicare, Medicaid.
Yeah, that could be big, man.
Okay.
You know that can wipe out $500,000 without blinking.
Medicaid.
Yeah.
Medicaid.
And I live with it. I live with a woman, and I'd like to marry her, but if I marry her, she doesn't have anything they can look back on. They can take it out of my assets for her, too, if she goes into assisted living. Unless you keep everything separate. And there's a way to do that legally. You probably need to talk to Blake Harris, by the way, to do some planning. But, Paul, you're right. There is a look-back period. But I believe with Medicaid, it's mostly predicated on income, but then later on it's predicated on assets, and I'm not sure when that switch takes place. Because, for example, right now you can have $1 million of equity and be on Medicaid. Did you know that? Yes, you can, but you can't have income.
That's right. But I don't know when that switches to assets. Like, for example, I know you can't have $1 million in equity and go into a nursing home and have Medicaid pay for it. But why? That's the part I don't get. You know, we should ask Integra Insurance that question too, and see what because really the only way to do it to protect that house would be an irrevocable trust for the look back
in this state.
Yeah. But he's in this state, Mark. That's why I'm talking about it. So, Paul, a reverse loan wouldn't protect. Wait, a reverse loan wouldn't protect you from a look back because you would still have money, and they could still make you sell that house. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because they're talking about protecting your equity.
Hold on. If you took the money, Paul, if you took a lump sum and it accrued enough interest where there wasn't enough equity to go after, then they would leave the house alone, but then your son would have the debt. I mean, somebody's had to pay it off. So, you see...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no matter what...
Ask Blake, there's got to be a way to do this.
Yeah, it's going to be an irrevocable trust. We'll find out. We'll ask Blake, and I also want to ask Integra Insurance. If we can get both of them on, it would be great.
Or just... Give the son the house right now, and then when the look-back period's done, it's over.
That's right. But the only problem there, he inherits his old basis. That's the thing. He could sell it to him, though. Well, no. Yeah. But then he has to actually be paid for it. $1? No. Then he wouldn't have a dollar basis. It would be fucking devastating. Yeah. So, that's interesting. That is interesting.
Hey, I'm going to talk about 2 real estate things. First of all, Frank Duran, the real estate man. You know, I talk about the free market valuation of your home. You know, if you're looking to sell or maybe to fix it up and you want to know, well, what would I get for my house? Frank Duran, therealestateman.com will do that free market valuation for you. 303-920-1622. But let's talk about finding a place to buy. We talk about listing your home and how great he does there. He sells for more money and quicker than anyone, and than the market average. He can show you that. He's in the top 1% of producers. But let's talk about finding real estate. He's a genius at that. Like things that just came off the market, he might see, hey, are they still looking to sell? Or something that used to be on the market. Or let's say this. Let's say a new listing. Frank is so good, people call him to list. He may have something you can buy before it actually goes to listing. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com can help you any way you want to go with real estate. Buying, selling, or just a market valuation. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Now let's talk about another aspect of real estate, and that's borrowing. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. You hear me say that all the time. Why is ideal ideal? Well, the first reason is that interest rate guarantee. I mean, come on. You don't have to worry about it. You close. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. You can call them for details, 303-867-7000. Here's the next thing I love about them. The pre-approval. God, is that powerful. Talking about Frank finding you a place? Well, the pre-approval is like a cash deal. You're approved. Not just qualified, you're approved. You actually submit all the paperwork and it sits there, the money set aside for you. So when you find a house, bam, you're done, like a cash deal. That's Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan, 303-867-7000.
Yeah, it was either Marshalls or TJ Maxx or something like that. You know how they have those.
Yeah, the Gunner Lee. He didn't say bye.
Yeah. I'll have to.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, my mouse is about that big.
Okay, I'm gonna text Gunner. I should have.
And then it's got a little virus on this end.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But consider that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s. Isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt.
Oh, they got him at. They're saying this one's 57.
What's the truck?
The truck, the MSRP.
Oh,
this one is?
So then, Navage uses powered suction to pull saline.
What's weird? Well, okay, then they got him for 20, and they're going to say that was his negative equity on that.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes. So
look,
you
he may as well. He might want to just do it, Mark.
And stay healthy.
It's the least of evil.
Others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
I did a second Hennessy.
Clean nose, healthy life.
Replace that old furnace and air with a new Carrier system, saving more than $2,000 only from Plumline and Carrier. Turn to the experts. Plumline Services has been earning trust in Colorado since 1998, with a north location serving Boulder and Longmont. Schedule your service online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. Plumline exudes excellence in every call with the highest of ethics. PlumlineServices.com. Service at home. Servants at heart.
The secret to staying on track with your goals.
Tommy, I have Johnny Jr. on from Integra. He wanted to know what the question was about because the caller hung up.
It's about Medicaid qualifications. That's all.
Medicaid qualifications.
15 menu and market items each week. They even customize your box by swapping in proteins and sides that work for you. Right now, get an exclusive offer during HelloFresh's President's Day sale. Get 16 free meals plus 3 free gifts with code Radio16 at HelloFresh.com/Radio16.
With thousands of dollars in new tax credits this year, Jackson Hewitt understands there's a lot at stake this tax season. We have 102 reasons to switch with Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro, like giving you $100 just to switch. So that's 100. Then we'll track down every last tax credit so you get every dollar you deserve. That's 101. Finally, we guarantee you'll get your biggest refund. That's 102. Want to discover 103? Book an appointment at a participating location near you. Offer ends March 6th. Available at participating retail locations for new clients only. Mention this ad when filing. Terms apply. Visit JacksonHewitt.com for details.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick, and here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Nuggets go into the NBA All-Star break on a 3-game winning streak thanks to Monte Morris's buzzer-beating three that sank the Warriors last night. Rookie Bones Highland is replacing injured Kings guard Davion Mitchell in Friday's Rising Stars game. And as the Major League Baseball lockout enters its 78th day, the League and Players Association met for just 15 minutes today. And according to ESPN...
So, Mark, in total disrespect of your keto and stuff, they want you to go to the Heart Attack Grill.
Been there.
And they want you to go to...
I've been to Heart Attack twice.
Usually Heart Attack Grill, usually what they call heart attack, is not bad for your heart at all.
Oh my God. This is not good.
Oh, it's all carbs and shit.
It is. Forget about the carbs.
Because people think greasy, fatty is bad for your heart.
Well,
they're full of shit.
This is what this was. 12 patties, like 16 slices of cheese.
Well, that's not bad for your heart. It's bad
40 or 50 strips of bacon.
Yeah, it's too many calories, but it's not bad for your heart. It's not bad for your heart, Mark.
Oh, man, I don't know, bro. That's a lot of
Mark,
bacon.
you don't get cholesterol.
That's like 3 pounds of bacon.
No, it's not good for you calorie-wise, but...
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Don't forget OLSlaw.com. You know what they are, real estate attorneys, right, Mark? Who would be a fool not to, don't ever do a real estate transaction without at least checking with them. OLSlaw.com. All right, let's talk. Johnny Jones Jr., JJJ, the airplane, the jet plane. Hey, John.
Good morning, Tom.
Has anyone ever called you JJ? I would kill him.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
sure.
Okay.
My dad called me JJ growing
up. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Integra Health Insurance is, by the way, Integra Insurance is the place I go for health insurance, and you should too, and you don't pay any more going to them. In fact, they save you money. But you know a lot about Medicaid. I want to ask you something. We know that you can have $1 million in equity in a house and still qualify for Medicaid because it's income dependent right now since Obamacare, right?
Well,
Go ahead.
Preface, I'm not a Medicaid expert. I know some about Medicaid.
But you do know you've had qualified people.
Sure. I can help people with as far as directing them or putting them in the right direction.
So if people don't have income, it doesn't matter if they have income. If they don't have income, it doesn't matter if they have equity.
Well, Medicaid provides multiple services, so it depends on the service you're
That's what I was getting at. Okay, that's what I was getting at. So let's talk about just medical care.
For medical, it goes off of your modified adjusted gross income, just like health insurance goes off.
But when it comes to long-term care, what does it go off of?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I know when it comes to cash assistance and food assistance that it does include assets and other things.
Right, and I think for nursing homes too, right?
Well, that would be...
that's possible, but I honestly...
I think you answered it, John. John, I'm kind of playing dumb here, but you answered it.
I would assume so. I would assume so in that case, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it does, because you can't have a lot of equity. You have to have...
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to... Because I was always confused as to why some people with Medicaid can get benefits, and other people with Medicaid can't get Medicaid because they have equity, but you really summed it up. For certain services, regular medical care, like under Obamacare, you can get Medicaid and have as many assets as you want, but you can't have income. If you go into a nursing home or some kind of a service like that, or cash or food stamps, they go by both income and by assets. So, thanks. You cleared it up. You cleared it up. By the way, just really curious, is there any open enrollment going on right now, or are they all over?
No, there is a special enrollment period right now, and it's fairly open-ended. It's for anyone impacted by COVID or the Colorado wildfires, and that goes until March 15th. And then there will be a tax time enrollment, special enrollment period, that if your accountant says, hey, you may be eligible for tax credits, you may qualify for a special enrollment period to get health insurance at that time as well. And that's new. Both of these are brand new this year.
Thank you, John. Integra Insurance, 303-466-5500. And speaking of insurance, let's switch to homeowners. And Joel is with Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. And Joel is out on the job right now helping people with the Marshall fires. Of course, they can help with any insurance claim you have. Public adjusters work for you. Don't confuse them with the term independent adjuster. Those independent adjusters work for the insurance company. They're just not part of the insurance company. They work for them. And like insurance companies, when they get overwhelmed, will hire independent. Public adjusters, licensed public adjusters, work for consumers. So, Joel, you wanted to make something clear. People really are in danger, even if they didn't lose their house, but they had peripheral damage. Because a lot of people think, I can just, wipe up and maybe some of the ash and I'm fine. They could get thousands of dollars from their insurance company because of the dangers. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Well, thanks for putting me on the show. I just wanted to alert people about a phenomenon that's happening up in the Marshall Fire area. So what's happening is because of the pollution and the poor air quality and the particulate matter that's still in the air, what's happening is insurance carriers are actually paying for people to have their houses decontaminated and deep cleaned, but then within a week or two, that contamination is building back up again. And so what I've been able to do is get carriers to agree to pay for regular cleanings until the County of Boulder stabilizes the pollution.
That is really major. That's major.
Yeah, and so, it's the carriers aren't going to tell people this. They just want to get the house clean, get people back in, and close the claim. But that really creates a health hazard for people, and it's something that people should be, really aware of, and aware of the fact that their carrier does owe to.
So even if the message is, even if you get your house cleaned once or had it cleaned once, you should have your claim gone over by Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, because they might be able to get you multiple cleanings, which are necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the first one, if they haven't gotten that, and then work with their insurance carrier to make sure that everything's pre-loss condition after they stabilize the decontamination.
I would have never known that. I swear to God, I would have never known that. Well, I'm so happy that you brought that up. I thought, what the hell is he talking about? They already got it cleaned, and you said, no, Tom, they may need it again because why does the contamination come back if the fires are over?
Well, let's say, a lot of these homes are next to homes that burn to the ground, so it's a very sporadic and random distribution of the houses that fully burn. So the houses next to those homes have smoke contamination, soot contamination, and where those lots are still standing, those have not been stabilized yet. So just with the wind blowing, it's kicking up all kinds of contaminants in the air. I spent the whole day out there yesterday, and when I came home, I felt it in my lungs, in my nasopharynx, just from being outdoors.
Hey, Joel, how about someone that lives in a neighborhood like across from the neighborhood that, nothing burned down?
That's what he's talking about, I think, right, Joel?
Absolutely.
So how would someone know if they're affected? What's the way? Do they go get a test?
Yeah, if they believe that any kind of contamination blew into their home, and that could be, within miles of the fire region, what they should do is give us a call, because we can get an environmental testing company out there and do tape tests and determine if there is actually pollutants that have gotten into their dwelling.
Does that cost anything to have done?
It costs about $150 to $200 per tape test, and we recommend, on a 4 or 5 bedroom home, about 5 or 6 tests.
Oh my God! Does insurance
3 or 4?
Does insurance pay for that?
They can, if you can prove that, if you can prove that there is contamination, what they'll pay for will generally cover the testing as well.
Okay. So it's worth the risk if you're having respiratory problems, or what are some of the symptoms, Joel?
Just watery eyes, respiratory problems, kind of the feeling that you're
allergies
over a cold.
Okay, all right.
So any kind of those symptoms would be an indication. And then also, if you're within 5 miles or even 10 miles of where the fire occurred, then that wind could have driven that smoke into your dwelling. There was 100-mile-an-hour winds or more.
Oh my God!
So
okay,
that stuff carries, and those are the people that we're helping out the most, because that's where we're proving to the insurance company that there is actual contamination. where, some of the houses that were obviously burned, it's not that, it's obvious that there's a problem there, but, these poor folks that have contamination don't even know about it within miles of where the fire happened. Really need to get that addressed.
Thank you. That is Joel Cherdak. He is the owner and one of the associates of their Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, and that's coclaims.com, 720-715-0000.
KHOW. Say 0000.
Yeah, I know.
There's no other way to do
it.
But you won't forget. Not like 1,000, 5,000.
But you won't forget it. You won't forget.
0, 0.
Or I say all zeros. Sometimes I say all zeros.
4 zeros.
That's a long number.
I know what you're saying, but I like it.
I don't like it.
I don't give a shit.
Joel likes it.
I'd rather have something like 2050, 3010, 2875.
5150.
They're all better than 0000.
But you should pay attention to all them zips.
Yeah, but then you're going to forget. You're going to say, okay, was it 719 or was it 303? Because all you're going to be thinking is the zeros.
That's all I got is the zero. I have no idea even who you're talking about.
I'll tell you my theory one time.
BecomePremier.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing lender. NMLS 416701.
The home show's back until Sunday night. K&H is celebrating whether you go there or not, although if you go there, you get some extra savings. But if you don't, you can still call them and get great savings, 30% off all windows, siding, and doors. Plus, this is something that K&H hasn't done before at all. And that because, God, they have so much work when it comes to roofing. But they're going to do a 15% discount on all roofing, too. And that includes the hail-proof roofing by EuroShield and F-Wave. That's by K&H Home Solutions. Now, I've been representing them for years. Established in 1956, 65 years ago. Started by Henry Seligman, by the way, and K&H stood for his wife's name and his name, K&H. And then it was taken over by Ted, Roland, and I know Ted, and I knew the original owner. This is a solid company in Colorado, one of the oldest home improvement companies. Give them a call, 303-421-7100, or see them at the home show. Get your 30% discount, khwindows.com, khwindows.com.
Your insurance company hired an adjuster.
I forgot Corsanitas. I forgot the Corsanitas.
All right, I'll put a pause after this. 20 seconds.
Thanks.
As your partner in recovery, our team of private adjusters represents homeowners and business owners, never insurance companies. And our time and resources are dedicated solely to you. So don't stress. Don't wait. Call today at 800-248-3888. That's 800-248-3888.
Hey, I am a believer in core scans, which, of course, is a scan. It's a medical procedure. It costs $189. It takes 15 minutes, pain-free. You keep your clothes on, sit in a chair. The purpose is to find soft plaque, which is a direct indicator of risk of heart disease. No, of heart disease and risk of stroke. We have documented cases where we've saved lives, where they see it, people get it taken care of before something tragic happened. Other people have lighter cases. Whatever you have, your insurance will cover the treatment. That's what's great about it. CoreScans.com. That's CoreScans.com. You gotta love it when they can save your life for $189. And I hope you waste your money. I hope there's nothing wrong with you. How about that? That's CoreScans.com without the E. 720-740-2663. 720-740-2663.
Did you know if there's more?
So, did you remember that name with Apple?
Yeah, I looked it up on the internet.
That's what you are doing right now by calling American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Michael Brown here, and I want you to call American Financing because
I have had follow scan show, and it's amazing to see it go down. It's amazing because before regular statins didn't do that.
Yeah. And then surgery. And there's a certain risk with the surgery too.
I have a remarkable blood chemistry that my doctor said is unique to Italians from the CERT district.
Thank you.
And what it does is it stabilizes plaque, calcifies it, but here's what it does. Even though it calcifies it, there's smaller space. So even calcium can be serious if there's too much calcium. But what my vessels do are expand to make up for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, Jackie, I'm still on the air.
It's unique. He said it's unique to this part of Italy.
Huh.
It's got rubber veins.
That is
Oh, okay.
amazing.
No, but it's unique. In fact, they're researching this part of Italy for that property of the blood.
Yeah,
Isn't that
to
weird?
see,
And I'm blessed with
what
it.
the DNA.
Yes.
Or
And they're
whatever.
going to MRI.
It's better not to have the.
I already know the answer. It's all the wine.
Yeah, but
I've certainly had my share of it, so
But red wine.
I still don't
But
have that.
Dr. Boo was telling me about it. He said it's so remarkable that they're wondering why, because he showed me where mine does that.
Yeah.
It literally, now sulfite is bad, but mine, and I'm not saying I didn't need the treatment, because I did it anyway. I want to be proactive, but he says yours seems to be metabolized faster. And then to make up for that plaque, it expands on the other side, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah. So my actual blood flow had not been, to this point, inhibited.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I don't fuck with it anyway because I don't want to.
Yeah. Like you say, be proactive with it.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm proactive, you know. And who knows what it means, right? I got sick the other time. I got a flu. I tried all my vitamins. I got so sick. I was so pissed. It
was weeks, too.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And 1 week on my ass. But I'll tell you. And then so I know some people, they don't take care of themselves. They don't do shit.
Don't do anything.
And nothing ever happens. You ever know some of those? And they live fucking forever. Some of these people, and you're wondering, oh my God.
Can't even get them to take a vitamin.
Oh, no, I know. And I get blood work every 3 months. And I'm thinking, you know, I really wonder if everything I do is work. I mean, I feel good about it, so maybe it's good because it's mental. But
that's a good point.
But seriously, though, I really wonder, when it really comes down to it, if you took a study of people who are really proactive and people that don't give a shit, does it boil down to the cards you're dealt?
How about people
more than likely,
Yeah.
Well,
I bet you a
chunk of it.
It's environmental too, but it's still.
Yeah, but most of it's hereditary.
I'd even call environment the cards you're dealt.
How about people that smoked till they're fucking 100 and die of something else? How does that happen? How do you smoke to 100 and die of something else?
Hi, Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Matt's got a Marshall Fire comment. Go ahead, Matt. What's going on, sir?
Hey, Tom, I was just saying,
yeah,
a good way to check to see if you've been affected or your home's affected by the fire would be to check your HVAC.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Yep. That's it. Love the show.
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, that would tell you, man. If that's all gunked up, you got to think, whoa, what's getting in there?
I wonder how much Rock charges for those tests. I wonder, he told me he was thinking of going up there and doing mobile testing. I wasn't quite sure what he meant. I didn't ask him.
We ought to find out. You know, let's ask Rock. Can we get him on and ask him what he charges for those tests?
Sure.
303-713-TALK. Thank you for that comment. And Brian thinks he's been ripped. Oh, wait. I got to take Mark first. I'm sorry, Mark. You've been waiting a little longer. Brian, I'll get back to you. Okay, Mark, what's happening?
Yeah, quick parenthetical on the Medicaid look back, just very, very briefly.
Yeah.
My dad had a massive stroke 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Placed him in a nursing home for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And, of course, my mom was concerned about the possibility of losing her house.
Yeah.
But he placed the home entirely in her name, so she was the exclusive property owner.
Yeah.
He remained in the nursing home with subsidized care for 2.5 years. the state never came back to try to reclaim any of her property or...
Now, how many years was it from the time he transferred it to the time he went in, or was it right away?
He went into the hospital. He was there for a few days. They did not feel that he would experience a normal recovery. He lost his ability to communicate, went to the nursing home. Medicare provided...
No, I understand, but when...
But then the home went exclusively in my mom's name, and that solved the problem.
But, okay, but it went exclusive in her name right away?
Well, there was an attorney who helped...
Yeah, I understand that, but, I mean, when he got... It wasn't years before that. It was relatively the same time.
Same time.
And they never, ever investigated? Did they ask him if he owned a home?
They knew that he was a property owner, but an attorney helped my dad and my mom sign a legal document that basically transferred title from my dad.
Yeah, but it had to have been done earlier.
No. Blake's talked about this before.
Oh, because it's in both names?
Because it's in both names. He says they could if they really wanted to, but they don't.
They don't sell...
They're not going to kick someone out of their house.
Okay.
It's called the community spouse.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Mark. I appreciate... Oh, I'm sorry. Now you had another issue. Go ahead.
Well, as a preamble, my car was parked across from the federal office building where I worked about 3 years ago. There was a Lyft driver that made a quick turn, smashed into the car parked behind me, ended up damaging my car and totaling it, and I called you, and you gave me invaluable assistance in helping my my insurance company subrogate and get the maximum value for the car. So
Excellent.
You were extremely valuable. So
Thank you.
I thank tremendously for that.
So what's going on now?
I'm trying to help a friend of mine. I still work for the federal government downtown. My friend retired about a year ago after his wife passed away. They had custody of a 13-year-old girl who was mentally and emotionally challenged. They used to call them retarded. I know it's politically...
No, I understand. So what happened?
So he is legally blind, essentially, reads with great difficulty, does walk around, has a little bit of difficulty seeing in a visually immediate area, so he cannot drive. He uses Uber extensively, but he had a very, very bad experience on January 8th, and I'm trying to give him a hand. He has one arm and is going through extensive abdominal surgeries, so I'm trying to give him a hand.
Well, what problem did he have with Uber?
Well, there was an Uber driver. His name was Adam. That's all I know. He arrived at Eddie's residence for a cross-town trip. But then the problem started immediately. He began attacking Eddie and his mentally challenged daughter.
Wait a minute. What do you mean attacking him? How?
Verbally attacking him.
Like how? Why? I mean, like you're an idiot? I mean, how did he...
Over a mask, maybe?
Calling the daughter.
Wait. Hold on. Is it because of a mask or something like that?
I don't think so. Eddie never stepped into the vehicle, and Eddie does wear a mask. He's very soft-spoken. And
I was just wondering, but, okay, how does it happen that an Uber driver pulls up, he sees a guy who's blind with a daughter who's has mental disabilities, or whatever you call it, and he starts abusing him? Hold on. I got to figure out how it goes from there to there.
Somewhere not here. Well, he might not know because he wasn't there.
Sponsored by Indeed.com.
Did this work?
No, I didn't even try it.
I'll sell it to you for $4.
Actually, as long as it's good, I'll just use it.
$4. This one's dead, I'm almost sure.
It's definitely battery dead. I did pull it out and turn it on. It didn't come on, so I kind of... But the other one, I had it plugged in.
I got the plug-in one.
No, the other look. Well, I know. Well, this is mine now, but I was looking for that one, the one with the broken wheel, because if I plugged it in to charge yesterday when I was on my way out, but it's not there.
This one, the wheel works.
I know. That's how I know.
Let me see if maybe I got 3 in here. I doubt it. What do you need?
I don't need anything. I'm just giving him a hard time.
So we're missing one.
Yeah.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com. We were just talking about, what to do and how to plan for Medicaid if you're going to do that and how to do it properly. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, he can help you with all of that. He can answer your questions free of charge if you just call him, 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833-ASK-BLAKE. Now, you don't want to just talk about Medicaid. You want to talk about Medicare. You want to talk about trust. You want to talk about a will, maybe a beneficiary's deed, a payable on death certificate, whatever you need to make your life easier and to make your heirs' life easier, including protection from lawsuits. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. So many people right now have hundreds of dollars sitting around their house in drawers and cracks and crevices and in cabinets. And do you ever see a junk drawer? Everyone has a junk drawer. I don't have one. No, everyone has one except me. But in those junk drawers, you even find like chains and earrings and old watches and crap, pencils and pens. But anyway, when it comes to the precious metals, David Ellis Jewelry. It's that easy. 3rd and Clayton. You go down there, he's live and he's local. And he's trusted, been around 40 years. He'll write you a check. All he cares about is the metal, so don't go trying to sell great jewelry to him. He wants to buy metal. So if it's old, or maybe it might just be something you don't want anymore, but he'll buy it from you. He'll buy it, old coin collections, whatever, and he'll be honest about it. He'll give you an honest assessment, and then he'll give you a check. That's DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton, 303-322-8779.
The fantastic 4-day sale is on now at the showroom, and you don't want to miss it. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save.
Is that an expression in other people's house? I was wondering.
I used to have a junk drawer. I used to have a junk drawer. Now I have a junk chest of drawers.
Keys and pins and Burberry stickers.
Paper clips.
I brought one for you. Line 3.
Oh, good.
About the testing.
I'll never forget when I moved in with Stephanie and I went through her kitchen, drawer by drawer, cabinet by cabinet. She thought I was insane. I said, if I'm going to live on a Martino, I said,
did you reorg?
Oh, shit, yeah. She loved it after I did it. Then she caught the bug, which was really cool.
You know what I hate? You ever been to someone's house and their refrigerator's fucking...
Oh, fucking filthy. My refrigerator, I refuse not to clean it. If you leave it too long, it's too hard to do. And then you never want to do it.
You gotta treat it like something, though. You gotta keep it clean.
Oh, no, clean. And then little crumbs and shit all over. Or
like my kids are the worst. They put leftovers in there. They're gone. I throw them out. I mean, I won't even deal with it.
I go through it once a week, too.
It's like, how old's that?
So many people have told me.
Yeah, I don't.
And no wonder. It's the new way to sell.
We kind of got a 2-day rule. If you look at it for 2 days.
My kids have to clean their room every day. Yeah. My kids have to clean their room every day, and it never is hard. I said, it'll never be hard to do every day.
Yeah.
Yep. Never. If you leave it, you will hate it.
Yeah. That's because it just gets overwhelming.
So at their house, at that other house, they don't. And then it builds up and they hate it. At my house, if they
or someone else cleans it.
Make the bed. No, they don't. And they hate it, but sorry. And at my house, they have to do it. They're with me.
But you have the maids dust it and shit, right? Vacuum.
At this mark, the maid service comes to my other house. This house in Cherry, in the one in the country club,
once a month or something.
We don't have enough trade. No, I do it all. But I keep it, what I call, they did it once, deep clean. And then really, we're only there a few days a month, so it's easy to keep it up. No, I'm going to have a deep clean maybe once a year.
I'm going to have Jim do our bus.
Yeah, I think I had that. I might have that done once. I had some. What did I have to my bus? I had 0 residue my helicopter. They did the carpets and they did the leather, and I'm telling you, they made that shit look new. And then the fucking airport gave me shit because there was an unapproved vendor on airport grounds. Come on, because we have private hangars, but I didn't know I couldn't have somebody come and help me.
That is going to work.
Really? They don't want anyone there, man, unless they are licensed with the airport. That means you got to pay them.
Yeah, you got to pay them. That's exactly it.
That's bullshit. I mean, even a carpet cleaner. I mean, come on. They came to do my,
got to call the unmarked carpet cleaner.
That's stupid.
Tell your smart device to.
All right, back in about 10.
iHeartRadio. Then you can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
There's something to be said about that water. I don't know what it looks like. They have fucking acid that takes everything off. I mean, it's water.
He says you can drink it.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Rock is with American Restoration. That's one of the, it's the only I mean, I'll tell you what, I hate restoration companies, so Rock is unique here because he's honest, and I don't want to get into it, but a lot of restoration companies, they put up a shingle and say, oh, we're a restoration company. They don't know their you-know-what's from a hole in the ground. And anyway, Rock, you treat it like a science, which it should be. Make a long story short, I need to ask a question. We had Joel on.
Go ahead.
We had Joel on, who's with, he's an insurance a public adjuster, and he helps a lot of people up at the fires and stuff. And he's Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, and he said that there's some testing, I think he called it a tape test, to see if you've been affected by the soot and ash and stuff in peripheral areas of the fire. He said they run about $150 to $200 a test, and you have to do several of them around the house. Do you guys do that? Do you do that kind of testing?
Oh, indeed. Yes, we do. We have a number of clients. They're kind of waiting for their insurance companies to give us the go-ahead, but we're scheduled to do a lot of the cleanup. It's just smoke damage of houses that didn't catch fire. But yes, we can do tape tests. We can do air testing.
Okay, how much do those tape tests cost if you do them? Do you know?
We come in. We charge per test.
Okay.
So there's a minimum base fee of like $200.
Yeah.
And then we're about for like $25 or so per test.
That's not bad.
No, per test. So like if you have 5 samples, 25 of each one. So like in each.
No, I get it. That's not bad. I mean, plus the base fee of $200. So like $400 or $500 for a decent sized house.
Yes, those houses are very big up there.
Now listen,
very huge.
But there's no other way to know if your house was contaminated, right?
Well, you can look at if you go to your windowsills, for the most part, you go to your windowsills, or, you have a big register that was up in your attic where it came through. You go through your fingers, just take your finger and go across there, and if you see dark black, that's soot.
Now, how many miles away have you been seeing damages?
Pretty darn far.
Really? Really?
So, oh yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
3 miles?
Yes, I'd say 3 to 5 miles indeed.
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of fun. It was a big fire. It was big. So there's just it's amazing how far.
I think what I think you should do.
Now, we ought to get Rock, give his name. We need to give his name over to our insurance adjusters.
If he does cleanup in a certain house, I'd want him to retest it. Is that normal?
Yeah, of course, right?
Oh, indeed. We do a before and after. We set up a whole scope before we even go. So we've set up scopes for people 2 months ago, right after, and we still haven't done the work yet because we're waiting for the insurance companies. Some people don't want to do it now because they're going to generate a lot more.
Hey, Rock, do me a favor.
When they demo.
Do me a favor. Tell them to go to the referral list for public adjusters on our list, and then we'll tell our public adjusters about you as well. So, I mean, we ought to keep it in the family as far as good people that we can trust, because
indeed,
we'll definitely give your name over to them, because I'm sure that you're going to come across people who can't get their insurance companies off the dime, and these public adjusters will kick their ass.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Joel. I mean, Rock. I'm sorry. Thank you, Rock. We appreciate it. That's Rock with American Restoration, amrest247.com. And American Restoration is a restoration company. So it's 8337-AMREST. Let's go to the phones now. And now it's Brian believes he got ripped off. How do you think he got ripped off, Brian?
Hey, so it's a Avalon K679.
Avalon? What are you talking about?
It's a home theater system.
A home theater system? Okay, hold on. Where did you get? Jeez.
I just feel really stupid.
Brian, where did you get it?
So these two guys at the gas station come up. I mean,
wait a minute. Hold on. Here's what they said. We had this left over from a job down the road, right?
They said they were going to install 3 of them.
Right. Got it. Hey man, we've heard it, but I want to get details. If you could be so kind as to hang on, and we'll analyze it. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Also, Approval Reverse Mortgage, ApprovalReverse.com.
Pieces of shit.
Be like Bose, spelled B-O-I-S.
Superior Home 775. I have to admit that once I was younger than 25
look it.
years old.
Why did she say superior? Hold on. Hey, listen. Joan, they say that woman's house will be worth way more than she thinks.
Who says?
Somebody wrote to somebody saying this home in Superior sold for $225,000 over appraisal.
More than 20 years.
Well, Frank will give us a real deal.
It was sold for $1 million. It's not $1 million house. It's a piece of shit. So it could be good. So Mark, what did you tell Howard? Do it. I mean,
no. He was trying to get them to come on, and it's all in his court right now.
So 57,680. So how bad would they rip them off?
Well, if it's 57,680 right now, no matter what, he should have a loan for 47 in my opinion, not 70 fucking 2. And they did it so quick. It's all been in the last 2 months.
Security Council in New York to NATO meetings in Brussels, a last-minute push
Here we go,
Russia to de-escalate along Ukraine's border.
NATO allies are accusing misleading them and saying it's returning some troops to bases. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
My trial's about to end. Good RX. What the fuck are you talking about? I bought it.
No, it's free for whatever, then they charge.
So what do I have to do?
Nothing. You already put your card in and shit.
I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
No. You have to get the trial. It's warning you. It's actually good. If you don't want to keep it, you can get rid of it.
I love it. It's the best thing I ever did.
Have you used it? Have you used the coupon?
I use it all the time. I used it before I was a member because I had coupons. Before I was a member. So I don't even know how that works. I mean, I just used it. My doctor would give me these coupons.
They got better coupons. The gold member's a little cheaper.
Okay.
That one I told you I had, my blood pressure meds, 87 cents a month.
Part of her first official visit to the country in more than 2 years.
Nancy Pelosi getting a very warm welcome here in Jerusalem.
God, that's annoying. Would you turn that down?
Government.
That fucking speaker's going to drive me bonkers. It wasn't doing that before. It's all screeching. Do you hear that?
Sometimes, yeah, when it's up loud.
Yeah.
Took a toll on the bipartisan support for Israel. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett thanking the Speaker of the House for her...
Tommy, were you done with line 1? Danny,
No.
Okay.
I just sold all the Killers
Not mine.
tickets.
You didn't sell mine. You wouldn't even have to log into my Killers tickets. It's classified.
Transfer them to me.
And then I'll just go on and buy more secondhand market. I'll spend thousands.
Kevin Flynn. Is this the former Denver City Councilman Kevin Flynn? Is that the guy that used to be the fucking reporter for the Post? Kevin Flynn. I wonder.
Doesn't sound familiar, man.
What's the Post?
I used to clean that you tie your horse to.
Denver, it's the Denver fence posted in a manure yard.
I bet most people don't know what the Rocky Mountain News was. That's got to be, what, 30 years? At least 20.
Yeah, it went away right after I got here.
If you think about it, it's crazy. At one point, this town had 2 major newspapers.
I know. Now we have no major newspapers.
And all bogus news.
Yep. Switching to UMA is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user.
Yours likes the Gazette. It's online, Denver Gazette.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
That's OOMA.com.
You go up to these small mountain towns, they still have a paper. Usually they're free, and they're in like the coffee shop.
They'll be out.
Colorado health officials are pleased that COVID case rates continue to decline. State epidemiologists.
What's really weird these days, though, is you go in to almost any restaurant, maybe not an extremely high-end one, but man, everybody's staring at their phone. It's so crazy. I wonder how dating works now. You go on a date, you get to the restaurant, and both of you are just looking at your phones.
Oh, our grandson came over for dinner with his girlfriend, and they're sitting there on the couch, both on their phones.
The whole time.
And they must be, I mean, yeah, the whole time. I mean, it's just,
it's such a different world.
It's a bizarre generation.
I couldn't imagine if I had the access to, like, my girlfriend or my friends growing up, like before the age of 16, the access that a phone gives you.
You have to realize some of us watched it all come, every bit of it.
Shit, we didn't have cell phones when I was a kid, man.
I know. There were no phones. There were
internet.
Very
no
few,
internet?
No internet.
There were very few TVs when I was actually a little kid.
I had a bulletin board when I was probably 17 years old. I'd log into Prodigy, and I could hit some bulletin boards out there.
Yeah, I know.
Which were nothing but typing. I mean, that was it.
Bulletin boards was first social media, Mark.
It was. No, and
you remember One Online?
American Online? No.
I thought it was called One. And then there was AOL, of course, which was AOL was an early attempt at like Facebook and stuff.
CompuServe. CompuServe was first.
CompuServe, holy shit! Wow, that brings back memories.
CompuServe first. And I had the original map.
Wait,
of the
what
whole
did CompuServe? What did they offer? Were they bulletin boards?
CompuServe was an amalgamation. Okay, they had the beginning of what's the big database now? Oracle. They had the original Oracle software on there. They had access to Dungeon and Dragon games. They had BBSs. They had all kinds of stuff on there. Just I have a map of it. I'll bring it in for you so you can see exactly what CompuServe had to offer.
You know what?
The first real big one.
COVID is retreating, and they don't like it. Fucking these power-hungry little motherfuckers don't like it at all. But Biden, of course, does. I told you. We all knew it. As we get past it, closer to midterm, it's going to be less and less restriction, less and less COVID.
Well, the problem is he can keep it federal forever, man.
Yeah.
Meaning airports, airplanes.
No, but he doesn't want to.
Any hospitals that have except Medicare patients, you know.
Oh, he's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
Get taxpayer relief money. Let's talk about that with Friday.
God, man, did he like sent this damn country into a spiral so fast.
Made your head spin.
So fast.
Yeah.
I was just gassing up yesterday.
Wait, Built Back Better.
Keep listening to it.
Yeah.
We're Built Back Better. What are you talking about?
It was so fast, man. And I'll tell you, these other heads of state, they have zero respect for this guy, man. I think Putin's playing with them like a checkers game.
Did you read this from Marty? Okay, let me give it to you.
I can't.
I'll let you handle it. I'm sending it to you.
I'll send it to Toledo.
The Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Joan Sullivan is with us, by the way, from Approval Reverse Mortgage. Suze has an email for her. Suze, oh, she's on the phone. I'll wait. We do have another question. Suze, do you have that email for Joan Sullivan, Approval Reverse?
I sure do.
Yes.
Ron wants to know, for reverse mortgages, why is there a requirement to authorize obtaining copies of a borrower's past tax returns when past income has nothing to do with reverse mortgage qualification?
Weird.
Well, we don't always require past income taxes.
Then why do you sometimes?
Because just to verify that the income that they're telling us that they receive is, in fact, the correct income.
They have to only have enough income to what? Pay normal expenses?
Well, they have to have normal income to pay normal expenses, and then they need to have that residual income, depending on the number of people in the family. So, yes, when I first started originating reverses, we didn't have to go through all this. But 2008 changed everything.
Why? Because of the recession.
Because of the recession. And so the government was losing so much money on the reverse mortgages that they made the decision that we needed to have some income verification to make sure people can pay their minimum expenses and taxes and insurance.
All right, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. That's Joan Sullivan, Approval Reverse. I have a trivia question without looking up on Google, Mark. I'd like to quiz you about your president. In light of the Build Back Better plan and how wonderful we're doing, I'd like to know, do you know Tlaib's president's middle name? And your president's
Joseph.
You know, what is it? No, what's his name?
R. Biden.
It is R. Do you know what it stands
Robert.
for? How did you know it was R? Oh, it's his man. He knows.
He knows. He met him.
I know Donald's middle name.
Do you know what? It's his middle name. I know. Everybody looking it up. I'm telling you.
Roughneck.
Robinette.
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 Oh man.
Robinette.
That just makes
Joseph Robinette Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden. That's cool. Cool name.
Yeah.
All right, 303-71. Stop. Mark, I got to get back to you, Mark, here. So tell me what, let me recap here. So your friend Eddie is legally blind, and he had a mentally disabled daughter. When Uber shows up, Adam, the driver, starts mistreating him. How? Does he just pull up and say, hey, I'm not taking any blind guy? Or what does he do? Seriously now, how does he mistreat him? I want to take it seriously.
Well, Eddie...
And by the way, Suze, tell Brian I haven't forgotten about him, please. Brian, I haven't forgotten about you.
But I've got a huge update on Ghent.
Okay, now Mark, tell me what's happening.
So Eddie is legally blind.
Yes.
He's disabled. He has a mentally challenged daughter. He also has a small emotional support Chihuahua with him, and Eddie has paperwork.
Now I know, but just remember, emotional support animals do not have the same rights as service animals.
I understand.
Okay.
But wait, you can order certain Ubers with a dog. Why didn't he just do that?
Wait, was that what the problem was, that he had a dog and the guy said, I'm not taking a dog?
I don't know if that was the point of provocation, but it escalates in some manner where he begins calling Eddie names.
Are you serious?
And even threatens to put Eddie in jail.
Well, was Eddie getting hostile? Was he getting mad?
Prison. The daughter says Adam's eyes were red, and that by his demeanor, Eddie believed that he was intoxicated, inebriated, or drugged in some capacity.
That the driver was.
The driver was.
I think this started about the dog, though. They didn't want the dog in the vehicle. I bet you that.
Well, you know it did. It didn't start without provocation. We know it didn't. I mean,
I've known Eddie for 30 years. He is not argumentative. He pulls out of arguments very, very quickly, and would take great pains to avoid, even at the expense of.
But I find it hard to believe somebody pulls up and sees two disabled people who are obviously disabled, and holding a Chihuahua, and he starts abusing them. You know what?
That's only the start of it. The driver then takes off, but 10 minutes later comes back and continues to argue and insult with Eddie after 10 minutes.
What? Really? Did you look up this driver and his ratings?
Well, I'm not sure we have that capability. I do have a license number for him, but Eddie does call Uber for a second driver. His name is Jeff. Jeff shows up about 15 minutes later. They're taken to their destination without incident, and this second driver, Jeff...
when you said he calls up Uber, you mean he went on the app?
Calls on his app.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
The driver shows up. His name is Jeff, and Jeff discloses to Eddie that the first driver, Adam, has acquired a bad reputation as a driver.
Well, that's easy to see. It's on the ratings. He can look up that driver.
But
it's on his app, and he can go there and find out what it was. If he showed up, it's on his app in a history, right, Mark? Isn't there a history? I thought there.
Absolutely.
I don't use Uber.
No, there is a track of every ride, every driver, every passenger ever.
He should kind of check he should check the ratings, because if this guy has good ratings,
and
then
you can do that on that app.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you see it when you choose a person.
It would be on his app because he called him.
If you fall below whatever, though, they just get rid of the driver.
So Eddie, the driver ends up charging Eddie. This took place on the 8th.
The other one
ends up charging the Eddie the full charge from point of departure to destination.
A lot of well, I don't know about the full charge. I'm going to go back to the dog again. Okay. If he ordered it and didn't order Uber Pet, and the driver cared, the driver still gets paid, even if they don't even get into the vehicle, period, end of story, if they have a dog with them.
Now, Mark, you're not really sure if he called Uber Pet or if he just called a regular Uber. You're not sure.
No, I'm not. But my understanding is if you decline to ride with a particular driver, they could charge you, but not the full fee. They may charge a nominal fee, say of $5.
I don't know what they charge, but I know there's a charge if you don't take the ride. I don't know what it is, but they're not infallible. I mean, Mark has sued them and won, and in small claims court. I mean, how much was that ride?
The driver put $13 on Eddie's card.
Did he also put a tip on there?
No.
Okay. Did he call Uber to complain about that $13?
Well, I'm trying to help him out with that, but this is not the full story. On the 12th, 4 days later, Eddie sees an additional charge that the driver put on his card of $236 on his credit card.
Oh, my God. How much?
With $236.
No, every time, by the way, I just want to say this. Every time I've used Uber, I don't use it anymore. I use Lyft. Every single time I've used Uber, my card was hacked within 3 or 4 days. Bar none. Every single time I used Uber. Now, it wasn't put on my Uber account. I'm saying that credit card tied to the Uber account was hacked and was charged. Now, is that what happened to Eddie, or was it on his Uber?
Well, that's an interesting point, because subsequently, Uber sent him several photos of the damaged front end of Adam's vehicle and said that Eddie was somehow responsible for that.
Okay, Mark. Now it gets thick. Not only did this driver pull away and charge him for the full ride, the driver charged him for damage to his car, $263.
Yes, and Eddie never touched his car or went in the car.
Well, that's a whole different deal. I mean, Uber will take care of this quick. They're going to make that driver document
wouldn't you feel like a fool if Eddie kicked the car and did damage and was a jerk and you didn't know it? No, I'm serious. I'm just asking.
I hate to go back to the
dog. I want to know. Yeah, but hold on. He goes far beyond the dog now, Mark, because he charged him for the full ride, and now he's charged him $265.
No. What I'm saying is, first of all, it's not this guy. He's talking for this guy. He wasn't there. We agree on that, right?
Right.
So if he did actually get the ride and the dog was in there and took a piss or anything, they can charge you $200-300 for the cleaning.
No, I know that. Are you sure,
he didn't take the ride, Mark? The second driver who showed up about 15 minutes later.
Let's call the guy.
No, here's what we're saying, Mark. I'm going to give you an alternative. Eddie shows up. Eddie's there with his daughter. They get in the car with the dog. The dog pisses. The guy kicks him out and bitches at him, then gets so pissed off he comes back and says, you're going to pay for this or whatever. They have words. He takes off, and he charges Eddie. Now, I know you're going to say it's impossible, Mark, and I'm not saying it happened, but is it possible that you're not hearing the whole story? Because you know what? I don't care how bad a driver is. I'm only hearing one side of the story, and I find it very, very difficult to believe that a driver shows up with no provocation and abuses a man and his daughter, then comes back 10 minutes later, does it again, then charges him $265 for damage. I'm sorry, Mark. And I'm telling you this with the utmost respect. It's not against you, Mark. It's not against... Sorry. Bye. I don't believe it. Now, I didn't mean to hang up on him. My finger, honest to God, my finger slipped. I did not mean to hang up on you.
I'd like to call his friend.
No, I'm serious, Mark. I did not, and that's serious. I did not mean to hang up on you. When I said bye, I wanted to put you on hold. I am hearing one side of the story, and I don't believe it.
No.
It's a little dog, right? Didn't you say a Chihuahua?
Yeah.
They might have had it like in a purse or something.
Then he said there was a dent in the car.
Dent in the car?
No, he didn't say dent. Damage. Front end.
A front end.
Yeah.
So, but it was
Well,
to
what
the
if the
outside.
dog? What if? Okay.
It's a Chihuahua.
No, the dog ain't gonna damage the front end.
And so they sent this guy, Mark's friend, a picture of the damage of the car, and then $260.
Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney. I hope you never need him. But I know one thing. If you're charged with a crime, any crime, you really feel weird. You don't know what to do, especially if you're falsely accused. You know, you start looking for attorneys. You don't know where to turn. You really don't. I mean, when have you shopped for a defense attorney, right? You're under pressure. You don't make good decisions. Well, I've done the shopping for you. I know Joe Lazzara for years. He's been on my referral list for years. Joe Lazzara, you can trust him for DUIs or any other problems you have in your life, and try to prevent DUIs. I always feel I got to say that. You can prevent those with designated drivers or ride shares. 303-429-6200. Free consultations initially, and then flat rates if he takes your case. 303-429-6200. Speaking of times when we were talking about real estate, and we were talking about values of homes, and Jones here with approval reverse. Let's talk about forward mortgages. Ideal. The one aspect I want to talk about with Ideal is this competitive home market. They pride themselves at doing a pre-approval, which can fund within days of you finding a house, because they already approve you. I mean, you submit paperwork and everything, so you get all that out of the way first, and you know exactly what you can be approved for, which is cool, because then you just have to buy the house, and it's like a cash deal. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. And after you find the house and close, here's the other good thing, is that when you close, you get a 2-year guarantee. If interest rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. And by the way, they will give you a new 2-year guarantee every time you close. 303-867-7000, IdealHomeLoans.com.
Your car is worth more right now than any time in the past, and that's pretty exciting. Trade in.
They're sending Harris over to help with Germany, this. Right? Yeah, to Germany to try to figure out this Ukraine thing. What did she do? Was she a fucking general I didn't know about?
Here's what they're trying to do. Build your credibility.
Well, a couple hours ago, you wanted Blake Harris. He's just now getting back to me saying he's available. Do you know what you want to talk to him about?
Nothing. At all.
Oh, do you still want me to get him on?
If he's available, yeah, let's do it.
I like her idea of fixing the wall.
Look back on what? Do I need to tell?
Isn't it time for something new? Like
Medicaid look back.
Nose. After all,
have mercy, my friend.
Hair filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Novage.
I use a nose cleaner
every day.
Is Mark back on powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes.
Have you ever used that?
My spec. So, here's the problem with this one. The Novage. You put it up to your both nostrils, and it sucks. So it pulls the water in through the other one, and then it puts all the nasty stuff into a chamber.
And then you can use that for your breakfast drink. You warm it up with tea.
The other one, the one I have, it's a wand, almost like a water pick, and it's got an adapter that goes into one nostril, and then you go over the sink, and it pushes the water through the one down to the other. And the water goes right into the sink. There's no nasty reservoir.
Yeah, that you have to clean out.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, the Novage
No
is...
slime buckets.
It's pretty weird.
It is a weird deal.
It is a weird deal.
But the whole thing of cleaning out your sinuses, especially in Colorado, just for the dry air, the fires, the pollution. People think in Colorado, they have no idea how nasty our air is. But it's been a lifesaver for me.
So where did you find that one?
Do you know Deputy Dollar's
Amazon.
name? Do you know Deputy Dollar's name?
Novage?
I've got it. I use the bottle, but I threw that away. That's just a neti pot.
Oh, where you pour it, literally? Yeah. On Amazon, search Navage, and you'll see the one I bought.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about $100. It's lasted, shit, I've had it 3 years.
Do you know Deputy Dollar's name?
Scott.
Scott.
That I couldn't tell you.
Gallagher.
Oh. Scott Gallagher. I don't know.
I don't know.
And my phone is under Deputy Scott, to give you an idea. They're really cool, though. It works very well. And then you can adjust the pressure from 0 to 10. But he hates those things. He had the bottle, and he almost...
got a brain infection.
Almost. He almost blew his whole head out of there.
Yeah. I mean...
If you try to push it out and it ain't moving, that is not good. That's what you did, didn't you?
I don't know what I did. I think I pushed too hard.
Ooh. Sometimes
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK,
713-8255. Blake Harris Law. I want to talk to Blake. We had a question earlier in the show, Blake. How do you protect your house but still live in it if you want to use Medicaid in the future? Now, you know, a lot of people hate when we talk about this because it's like cheating. They say, hey, if you have equity, you should pay for your own care, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into it. All I want to say is this. There are people who are concerned that every dime they have in their house is going to be taken by Medicaid if they have, Medicaid, if they have to go into a nursing home. So how do people plan honestly and effectively to get rid of the house?
Okay, so rule number 1, 5-year look back. So what you want to do is give away your house 5 years before you want to move into a nursing home. Typically, people will give it to a trust, and their children will be the beneficiary of the trust. Next, what they do is they then live in the house, and they pay the trust rent. So they rent the house back from the trust. This helps you to funnel more money out of the hands of Medicaid. And after 5 years of doing this...
Is that an irrevocable trust, Blake?
Yes, absolutely an irrevocable trust. It has to be an irrevocable trust.
How come Colorado doesn't have something like you helped my parents out in Florida? They have the Ladybird deed that virtually does the same thing without having to go through it. How come Colorado is nothing like that?
That statement's a little bit off. So this, first of all, a Ladybird deed is just another word for a beneficiary deed or a transfer on death deed. And Colorado does have a beneficiary deed. But a beneficiary deed will avoid probate, but it doesn't protect against Medicaid. It doesn't protect against nursing home costs.
Well, there you go. So now you have a way to get that home into a trust and live in it, but it's really important. It's got to be irrevocable in 5 years from the time you do it, right?
Correct.
Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, do you find a lot of people doing this, or do a lot of people, I suspect, here's what I suspect. I suspect a lot of his clients have financial wherewithal, and they probably have long-term care or annuities that take care of that. I don't know. What is the situation with most clients?
So it fits in certain circumstances. I usually will not. It takes a family that really gets along and trusts each other very well. I don't. It's very rare. I don't know if I've ever even done one for a blended family where either of the parents have a stepchild, because there's just more likely to be conflict there. But if it's a situation where there's 2 parents and 1 child, or a mom and a daughter, or just 2 parents and 2 kids, and they all get along very well and they very much trust each other, then it's an okay situation to consider doing. Also, you cannot. Also, retirement assets get a little bit tricky. If the client has a few $100,000 in an IRA, a 401k, a 403b, anything that would have tax penalties if we gifted it to the children, then often it is more economical just to self-pay than it would be to cash those out and pay the tax penalties. So it tends to be something that maybe somebody between about $100,000 and $500,000 or $1 million tops, I would recommend this too.
Okay. Blake, do you have to file an irrevocable trust? Do you file it with the state, or what do you do with it?
There's no longer any requirement of a trust registration.
So what would I guess where I'm coming to is if you did a trust for someone and they held it in their safe and it was an irrevocable trust and they tore it up, how would anybody know it even existed?
Mark, you're getting into fraud, but the answer to the question is people can get away with a lot of crimes.
Okay. So really, because that trust is not filed anywhere.
The trust is not filed anywhere. However, the deed would typically be filed. I mean, you could potentially sign the deed and not record it. You are allowed to do a pocket deed.
Okay. All right. Now, years ago, I created 2 empty trusts. Years ago, before I knew you, and I want you to take them over. Where are those trusts? I mean, literally, where are they?
I mean, that's a question for you, Tom.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. So, no, Blake, so that I mean that kind of not as a trick question, but in other words, the trust is a document. Is that correct?
The trust document is what encapsulates the terms of a
but
trust.
That's the only thing that makes it a trust. Like Mark said, I could totally ignore it. If I don't execute it, it'll never be anything.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so
you could put someone in an irrevocable trust and say, when I die, you get $600,000, and then unless if they have a copy of that document, and you decide, I changed my mind,
I'm revoking it. Unless, wait. Well, are there wait, hold on now. Does the trust file a tax return?
So an irrevocable trust should file its own tax return.
And okay, so if it files a tax return, that would be the record of it.
Correct. Now, if there's no assets in the irrevocable trust, then there won't be any record of it. But if there's assets in the trust, it would need to.
Do irrevocable trusts pay taxes?
Yes.
Give me an example of why it would pay a tax.
A house you put in the trust, and you'd have property taxes.
And then you're paying rent, and then you're paying rent back to the trust. It's earning income.
Oh, okay. Got it. Very interesting, Blake. That's why we have you here. 833 Ask Blake. Wow. Now, Brian, we didn't forget about you. Brian, so listen, man, I'm so sorry. I was looking this up now. Apparently, this was popular years ago, and now it's made a comeback. And I just want to say you're not the only one. But you were approached at a gas station, and the come on, according to I investigated these things years ago. They're still around. They say, we had some installations. We have one system left over. You can get it dirt cheap, basically. So how much did you pay for it?
$300.
Okay, and what did they say you were getting for $300?
It's a $1,500 home audio system.
Okay.
Subwoofer and surround sound speakers and all that.
And why do you think now I'm almost positive you were ripped off. So why do you think you were ripped off?
Well, the website's pretty bare. I mean, there's not much on it.
But what about the product itself that you have?
There's stuff in the box. It looks like a subwoofer and speakers and a remote control.
Yeah. Have you used them yet?
It's probably just some Chinese knockoff.
Well, let's put it this way. No, seriously. How many actual speakers did you buy? The subwoofer, what else?
It's a 5-piece unit.
Okay, 5 pieces. Okay.
Sub and 4 speakers.
Now, here's the deal. And I'm not saying you made a killing here, but at least you got 5 speakers, even if they're not that great, for $300. I mean, it's not like you got nothing, right?
That was my whole thing. Is as long as it works. I mean,
they do work. They
wanted a lot more money, Tom. They wanted a lot more money. They wanted me to buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
And all this, and they were about to walk away because I told them I'm only going to pay maybe $200-300. Like, I don't need it that bad. And he was about to leave, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, whatever. You know, and he gave it to me for $300.
So $60 a speaker. Now, really, if the subwoofer works at all, I'm not trying to say people should go to gas stations and buy speakers. What I'm saying is it's not as if you got a box of rocks.
Yeah.
Talib said he bought something like that back in the day. What was it, a speaker was it a speaker or a full stereo system?
5 speakers.
My purchase was a TV.
Did it work?
Heck no, it didn't work.
Okay, but hey, you haven't hooked yours up yet, right?
Correct. I haven't had a chance to go home yet.
Okay. Oh, so you just did it?
Yeah. I mean, his whole spiel was so. I mean, the box looks immaculate. It had the.
They're all good like that.
Strap, the strap's still on it, all the print and everything. The styrofoam packaging was good.
They probably bought them for $20 a box. You know, they have $100 in it.
Their whole spiel was, I mean, for somebody who does construction, it's like he was pretty friggin' convincing.
He probably doesn't do construction though.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian. Brian, at least, no, seriously, I'd like you to follow up with us, though, with pictures and stuff.
He should go hang out in front of McDonald's and try to sell them to someone else.
Yeah, you could do that, too. But, Brian, listen, let us know how it works out. At least, like I said, yeah, it is a ripoff, meaning they're not as good as they told you, but they do, in my experience, they have at least worked before. You should have gotten a license plate number or something like that, though.
It in just nothing.
Oh, no, dude. It was colder than that. I drove off, and then my spidey sense said, dude. Then I pulled over and opened that box.
Uh-oh. What was in the box?
Huh?
It was a box of rocks.
Pretty close.
I don't need to do that one.
Oh my God!
There's no styrofoam.
That is worse. It's not like you plug it in and it's broke.
I really got down.
You bought a box.
I bought a box. That's what I bought. Now this deal with these speakers, I've seen that here in Colorado.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the guy he was in one of those little service type kind of vans. And he had
Mark, I'll probably take off after these spots.
And he opened it up and showed me what was in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
keep up your call screener for me.
Been there, done that one.
I had already bought a box. I bought another box.
All my spots are done.
You know, you just look at all these
shipping
carts.
I bought the box.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. I mean, I didn't even get out the
Get your core scan done.
CORscans.com, corescans.com. Find out if you have soft plaque, and then the good news is there's stuff you can do to treat it. If you have minor soft plaque, there's some lesser treatments, and then they have the full Monty if you need to save your life. I'm not kidding, okay? But I hope you waste your money. I truly hope you waste your money. I hope you have nothing wrong with you, and they say, well, you wasted your money. And then you can just proceed with fun, right? If you have soft plaque, there are treatments that can stop it and reverse it. Now, core scans, they don't sell those treatments, okay? They don't have a dog in this fight. They simply do the diagnostic for $189, but they can refer you to people if you need it, and your insurance pays for treatment. 303. Now here's the thing. If you want to get a core scan, call the number. It's not 303. It's 720-740-2663. 720-740-2663. This is a scan that can be done 15 minutes, pain-free, quick. You stay in your seat. It's in Boulder, and it's in Denver. And by the way, it's been known to be accurate, the most accurate for soft plaque there is at this price, $189. Corescans.com. All right. Genesis, I've said this before, Genesis can put all of the work on one invoice for you, all of it. And that means that you can have them come out to your house and assess all of your damages inside or out if you have insurance damage from wind or the effects of the fire, or you have hail damage or any other kind of damage, water damage, and they work with insurance companies. Here's the good part about Genesis. They're a home improvement company you can trust. So if you want home improvement, sons, kitchens, baths, basements, GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509, 679-8509.
Don't let your insurance company dictate your settlement. If you've been impacted by the recent wildfires, call 800-248-3888 today for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. As the oldest, largest, and most respected public adjusting firm, Adjusters International stands ready to provide you a path to financial and emotional recovery. Call today at 800-248-3888. That's 800-248-3888. 800-248-3888.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell. For example, Orchard makes you a cash offer for your home.
What's that?
Almost sold the company.
Well, I'd be interested. No, I'm not kidding. Or you keep a piece and I buy some of it. I'll tell you why. There's a reason I say that. I would never, by the way, open a company and compete with my sponsors. But I was thinking about that business particular because as people are getting older now and equity is high, I think it's going to lose its negative connotation on it. But you let me know if you ever want to slow down.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Tom. Good to know.
All right. I don't believe it. Oh, my computer. Shit.
It's got a new exit strategy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I wouldn't run it, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark would too, but I'm serious about it. Don't you think it's going to get bigger, the business, Joan?
It's the demographics are there.
Right.
It's just
and the equity's there. Yeah, we have a problem with it.
I'm afraid how the government's
that's the problem.
Right
they keep fucking with you. Is that what they do? They keep fucking with it. But there's private ones available though.
Yeah, there are private ones.
Yeah, and they're doing better than the government.
They're doing well.
So
yeah, the private ones.
Yeah.
But see, there's a sweet spot is maybe if the house is $900,000. I mean, Mary Jane has just done a couple of the proprietary.
Do you have private ones? Do you have private?
Yeah, we have.
You work with private wholesalers?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So we have some private ones too, but.
So what were you going to do? Just get out and retire?
Interstate movers problem for yesterday.
Done with it. Apparently they're there right now.
I think you're a little younger than me.
No, it's the caller spread caller though right now.
Is that the one with Marty?
Yes.
Everybody was
And then or obviously for Joe. Now line 3,
I don't really know.
Or maybe you want to.
He's got a customer who's owed money since 2018.
Yeah. Just take it easy, man.
Yeah,
and consult or something. Just think
exactly. Take care.
Bye, Tommy. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, so the regulation thing is a problem.
That's what
terrifies me. Right now, AAG has come back and said that they can't pay us the yield spread. So you know that we can get origination and or yield spread based on the interest rate.
And now they're saying.
Well, on the fixed, we just get. It doesn't matter what rate we offer. We're just paid the yield spread, and right now it's 1.35% on a fixed interest rate loan, and it's based on what the new loan amount is. So we don't get anything.
Nothing, but if it's adjustable.
AAG, American Advisors Group, has just come back and said that they're reinterpreting the regulations, and they're saying they're not paying based on.
They're going to make it to where no one can get a reverse loan. I mean, ultimately, they're going to try to make it better for everybody and kill it.
So if there's like 3 different levels, you can be.
Hold on, we're back.
Changing sleep. Don't miss our President's Day weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. Joan Sullivan with Approval Reverse. You know, we were talking about just reverse mortgages in general, and I promise, Francis, David, Mike, Miles, who is the average person that deals with you guys? Are they 66 with a younger spouse? Are they in their 70s? Just an average.
So on average, I'd say right now it's younger than it was when we first started. So probably around 66 to 60.
And if you married someone younger, you know, if you're 70 and married someone 50, they could actually live there until they passed away as well.
So the 70-year-old would be the one that actually got the reverse mortgage, and the 50-year-old would be considered a non-borrowing spouse. So they would be able to stay in the property as long as, they wanted to stay there. But the amount of money that they're going to get from the reverse mortgage
goes
down based on the age of the 50-year-old.
Got it. How about kids? Can kids be part of that or no? It's going to be just the spouse.
Just the spouse.
That's interesting. By the way, any questions you have, what I really like about Joan Sullivan, and I'm not kidding, one, she has her own product. I've always thought that was impressive. She sells reverse mortgages and has a reverse mortgage.
Yes.
The other thing I like, if it's not right for you, she's going to tell you. She'll give you the good, bad, and the ugly. Some situations it's great for, others it's not. Simple as that.
Exactly.
303-771-3528. That's Joan Sullivan, approval reverse, 303-771-3528. Honestly, call her with any questions you have. You can refinance a reverse mortgage, right?
We're doing a lot of those right now because the value of the properties have gone up.
Yeah, so they can even cash out a little more.
Yeah.
So if you're in a reverse mortgage right now and you haven't looked at the value, and let's say it's 5, 6, 7 years old, you could have doubled, and I am not kidding, you could have literally doubled your equity, get more money to travel, more money to help out with whatever. I mean, honestly, you should think about that. Now, Suzanne, who did you want me to go to? Francis, is this the interstate mover from yesterday?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Francis, what's going on?
Yes. I would actually have Carolyn with me, and she can actually give you a better rundown of...
All right, put her on. Let's get moving.
Okay. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Carolyn, what is going on today?
Well, hey, the movers showed up.
Well, that's good.
What? They want more money.
How much are you into it already? 15, if I recall?
No, 10,000, almost 11,000.
And how much do they want now?
They want $3,700.
Have you, okay, well, I hate to say this to you, Francis, you're going to have to make a decision. But before you make it, what I would do is I would make sure your stuff's there. I would make sure all your stuff, I would tell them, unload it. They're probably not going to do it. That's the problem with these movers.
They're not going to unload it until I give them some money. So
and then what happens if, do they want cash, of course? They won't take a credit card.
They want cash. I have a cashier's check here for $1,000.
Here's the problem.
And they don't want to take it.
Even if they could somehow assure you it would only be $3,700, then you'd have a real decision to make. The problem that we've run into 100 times, they have you over a barrel just like this. You give them the money, they unload the boxes, they head down the road, you start opening the boxes up, and you're missing stuff left and right. So once again, they got you again.
Well,
let me talk to one of them. Let me talk to one. Give me a guy's name.
Oh, we're on. His name is Ray, and we're actually on the road because I have to get cash.
Is he with you right there?
Yeah.
Let me see if he'll talk to me. Suzanne, make sure he understands he's on the air. I want to talk to this guy. If he's stand up at all, and I already know he's not, I want to talk to him. I want to ask him how he sleeps at night more than anything. But we got to figure out why he won't even let her see the stuff. Probably because half of it's missing. See if we can figure that out. That's absolutely insane to me. Miles has a question about reverse mortgages. Go ahead, Miles.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. My parents are prime candidates for it. One's 86, the other one's 84, and they have a lot of equity in their house. What can you borrow up to? It used to be a $750,000 was the maximum that they would give you, even if your house is worth.
How much is a house worth?
I'd say probably $1.2 million, somewhere around there.
And they owe nothing on it?
They owe like $160,000.
All right, go ahead, Joan.
Yeah, so it's just gone up as of January 1st. So they look at the property, the maximum is $920,000 now, and then they would get about 60% of the $920,000. So and then there are some proprietary products that may work very well for them too.
Do you guys do stuff like that?
Yeah, we do.
What, is it like through a private lender, if you will?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they can go up higher, is your bottom line is what you're saying.
Right.
I'd give her a call off air, Miles, because there's other stuff out there.
Okay, just one other question. Normally, so they wait until the spouse passes, until they both pass. When does the note come due? Because the place does have deferred maintenance, and in order to get maximum value of the house, I would probably have to take like 6 months to get everything pristine. So
basically the note comes due immediately after the last spouse has passed away. And
okay,
yeah, so
right.
Immediately. And you know, they do give you up to 6 months to pay off the loan, but you need to be in contact with them through that period of time to let them know what's going on.
Yeah, because he'd have quite a bit of equity left, it sounds like.
Right. And to use some of the money that they're going to be pulling out to do some of these repairs today. Now,
yeah, if they're pulling any out.
Yeah, so that they can enjoy living in the property that's, you know, been upgraded.
Yeah, you might want to fix it up so it, you know, it suits them better. Hold on, though, I got to take this break. I'm already over. When we come back, we're going to have like 3 minutes.
So who would you recommend from the referral list? My back porch roof and my front porch roof is pulling away from the house.
Well, what kind of roof is it? Just asphalt?
Yes.
And
so the back one is separate, but the front one is hooked to the garage. So it's...
well, when you say it's pulling away, you mean the shingles or the actual...
The actual roof is pulling away.
Roof extension, kind of.
So the front, I've had the...
The whole thing's moving.
Yeah, the whole thing's moving.
Valerio.
Valerio?
Valerio. V-A-L-E-R-I-O.
Okay.
They're right on the referral list. Okay. I've used them for something similar. All right, Public
Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. These are great guys. By the way, all of our adjusters you can find at referrallist.com. But, you know, these guys, Public Insurance Adjusters, they have a ton of different people working for them down there. They can do a lot of different things for you. If you just had soot damage from the fire, they can deal with that. But the important part is you have someone, and I mean this, you have someone that is looking out for you, and that's what these guys do. We have them into studio all the time. They're great guys. And you know what, Suzanne, do me a favor, put their phone number up for me, Public Insurance Adjusters. And then same with Ideal. I had to take over for Tom real quick and I closed up, so I'm going to make sure to give that phone number out. But if you're dealing with hail, if you're dealing with fire, if you're dealing with flood, if you're dealing with a commercial issue, maybe you had a commercial building up in Boulder County and you need cleanup, well, you've got probably a policy they can help you with. 720-715-0000. Public Insurance Adjusters. 720-715-0000. And I mean it, don't do it alone. Even if it's just a hail claim or a small one. Most of the time he can, well, you know what? Most of the time they can get you 50% more money. It's not opening up a new claim. It's worth the free conversation. Now, let's talk about Ideal Home Loans. Brett Ivinson and the gang, I really like these guys. A couple things. One, I want you to understand something. The Fed is raising rates this year. I don't care anything else anybody tells you, you're already going to see them go up. I think a 30-year is almost 4% now. If you are over 4.5%, you better do it now because the rates are probably going to be over 5%, maybe even higher by the end of the year. And if they're not, the one thing I love about Ideal Home Loans, if rates do go down, guess what? They will refi you for free. It's their rate guarantee. Most places don't do anything like that. The other thing they can do, if your credit score is a little off and you can get a better rate, they can do a rapid rescore and help your credit situation. And when you get a commitment from them, it's like paying with cash. 303-867-7000. Brent's in studio all the time with us. They're great guys. In fact, everybody that works for them, they're not on commission. They are there to help you out. They're on salary. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Do roller coasters suck?
I had no phone numbers. Man, he drinks a lot of this ghetto juice.
Now my daughter's finally starting to feel like I've been trying to tell her about that piece of property.
It's not about the property. It's about that person.
Exactly. She's just now starting to. It's just now starting to click in her head, and I like.
She's trying to fuck me.
Huh? Yeah. I just threw my hands up last night. I'm like, yay! Finally, she got.
So is she looking to buy something, or?
She's in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And
her landlord of a townhome is trying to sell her the townhome.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it rains, it gets 2 or 3 inches of water, not only in the garage, but under the flooring in a closet. If you step down on it, you can feel the water and hear the water.
Oh, God.
And it just goes on and on and on from there. Well, the lady was trying to make her a decent offer. But then when we started looking at the repairs that we would have to do, it almost at least added another 25–30%, okay, in required. And the lady wants to throw her $5,000. You know, here's $5,000.
That lady knows exactly what that place needs.
Yeah, I know. No, and that's what I keep telling my daughter. I said, look, we've been out there. We've been in the place. We've been up and down it. I've seen the water. I've stood on the floor in the closet and heard it jiggle.
Oh,
and I'm like,
it's the worst investment you've ever been in.
I'm like, no, don't do it.
That's what I said. Just the mold behind everything right now could be $100,000 in cleanup.
Oh, the medication for that.
Will you please squeeze that last guy in? He's been holding since 12:30 and it's easy. 2018, he's dead.
Why is he dead?
Customers owed him since 2018. He wants to know what repercussions he has. It's like,
those are cute, Sue.
Thank you. They got little fur in them. They're called.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
They're
at.
called hey dudes. I've got like 6 different pairs.
Those are cute.
I love them. Anyway.
Where you get them?
Online, Dillard's. They're not cheap. I'm not gonna lie.
No, we don't buy cheap stuff. We might have round heels, but we are not cheap.
I'm so glad your daughter's getting it.
Oh yeah, but it took a while. It took a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the first place, she needs to find something that's in decent condition. And
we were trying to work with her, and it was her friend that was selling the place to her, and I'm like, that's not your friend.
No.
That's not your friend. I didn't like that.
She might have been a good landlord, but it's not your friend.
All right, 303-713-8255. Don't forget, by the way, 303 Martino works on and off the air, and you can always email us at help@troubleshooter.com. Mike, I'm going to come to you in a second. I got a little house cleaning to do. Here's the deal. Housekeeping, house cleaning, whatever, probably both. Here is the deal, though. Here it is. We've got an update on Ghent. I'm going to hold off till tomorrow simply because of time. But it's crazy. You have to tune in the morning. This one on Ghent is just, you thought we were upset with them before. Wait till you hear what happened to this guy. I'll tell you this. I'll give you a hint. He's walking home right now. That's all I'm going to tell you till tomorrow. Mike, what's going on with you?
Hi, Tom. I'm just looking for some advice on how the best way to close out a very old invoice.
How old is it and what's it for, Mike? Quickly.
I did painless dent repair for a man. Actually, he owns a company.
Yeah.
I invoiced him on May of 2018.
It's too late to sue him. I mean, if he has any smarts at all.
No, the outstanding is $1,741.
Yeah.
So it's not that huge. I've just been put on the shelf, put on the back burner.
Yeah, he sucks. You know what I do? You know what I do? I want to see how can you prove to me you did the work?
You got pictures of it? Do you have an invoice he signed? What do you have? In other words, you're not going to go through the legal system now like if the guy knows anything. It's over 3 years. All he has to do is say the statute's run out. So what I would do is we would try to kind of light him up and think better of it to be the right person to stand up and pay his bill. But I'm not going to shake someone down if I don't know what's going on. So think about that. Chew on that, Mike. 303-713-8255. Don't forget, 303 Martino works on and off the air. And any questions about reverse mortgages, call our expert, Joan Sullivan. She's with Approval Reverse Mortgage, 303-771-3528. I'm Mark.